These are the bodies of people that have walked the distance of a marathon over this weekend and who are incredibly warm and who usually don't stream Mondays because Mondays suck. But so do our work schedules this week, so happy Monday everybody, we are here.
But you know what doesn't suck? Psycho coming in hot with the 100 stream streak.
100
streak.
It was an honor and a privilege to be shitposting with you. But why it was? Are you gonna change something for the next 100? Because I would imagine... Does it keep counting after 100? I've never seen a 100 stream streak already. So first of all, thank you very much. That is one of the most lovely gifts I've ever received. It's gonna be worse. I'm here for it. I love it. What's the next goal? The 150? The 200? Or the 1000?
That's actually a good question.
Because I say go big or go home, it should be 1000, right?
Yeah, but you gotta have like milestones in between.
I am happy for everybody who watches, who listens, streak or no streak. They are impressive, don't get me wrong, but I've seen streaks being broken because of bullshit reasons like Twitch not wanting to acknowledge them. So even if you don't have streaks like this, you're still welcome. And I love you all the same. But that is very impressive. Thank you very much.
Gonna take over your stream so I have a longer streak than you. Funnily enough, I'm at the 99 streak. I have no clue how you're one watch ahead of me.
Yeah, because we use Tifa's account as a quick way to moderate if necessary. Because usually, you know, this computer that we're streaming from is tied up playing a game and stuff. Yeah, now we're better in frame. So it's always there. Always. Oh well.
Basically.
Thanks, Jeff Bezos. I'm warm, people. Also, I forgot to say this. Hello, Psycho. Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Congrats on being first, by the way. I am so warm.
It really is warm. And my body is still a bit beat. Like my knees are non-existent.
My right calf hurts at the top of the leg under the knee's armpit. I think we once talked about what the actual term for that is. In German it's Kniekehle. I'll look that up again. Kniekehle, English.
We didn't even walk that much.
The back of the knee.
Yeah, especially compared to last year. We walked so much more then, but
no,
for some
not
reason...
much more. Last year we did a little bit more. This year, maybe we should start at the beginning. It was the Pokemon Go Global Day. And Tifa once again insisted we buy tickets because that's the only money we spent on Pokemon Go. And we went. We went and we went for a 10-hour walk on Saturday and a 9-hour walk on Sunday. Including everything, including setting up with a group of people, I think some community moderator, what's the title?
The community ambassador meetup.
Basically means Tifa is like half socializing with people and I'm off to the side just walking along inconspicuously after the group because it's warm and I don't feel like talking to people. Like, no disrespect to the people there, you were all amazing, you were all wonderful. Everybody that did speak to me, even just for a moment, they were super nice. But it's not me. No, not when it's warm like this. Nah. But
I like the socializing.
It worked. Basically everything we wanted to get in the game, we did get.
Almost everything, yeah.
It took Tifa 40 raids?
Yep.
To get a shiny Necrozma. That was the big bad evil thing to catch this year around. Last year it was Rayquaza.
Yep, true.
Yeah. That was something. I think I caught one in like the first 90 minutes. And then Tifa took 1.5 days to finally get one.
But
because,
I got one.
You know, shiny rates.
Stats are pretty shit, but you know, we got one.
Yes, but ultimately, I'm beat. My body is regretting this. I look like I've aged 10 years. I look like I haven't slept. I've slept well, but my body is still like, Why are you doing this? Plus Monday brain, but whatever.
I'm at step 4-6 for Marshadow. Not sure what the other stuff gives you. After Marshadow, after you finish that line, you'll get another task to do, and that will give you a Necrozma. That will give you a Necrozma, a Cosmog, enough to evolve it basically, and the fusion energy you need to make a Duskmane Necrozma or a
Duskwing, I think it's called.
Or Duskwing. No, Duskwing is the other one. Duskmane Necrozma or a Duskwing.
That's what I meant.
Necrozma, so that you can fuse it.
Basically, if you paid for the ticket thing, you get all the stuff that were released this year.
Yep.
Yes. And it's funny because I had to completely let Tifa do all of this because I've done that, like, I always say they're quests because it's like an MMO, they are quests to me. But I think it's special research or something like that. It's the technical in-game term. But when I play Pokemon Go, I don't pay attention really. Like, I see the steps and I go, okay, click 50 wolf's butts. Okay. Am I done yet? No. Like, my brain gets reduced to the part of me that can just sit in front of a screen and click on 500 wolves to get the 15 wolf pelts to then hand into the quest giver. Like, I cannot retain information when it comes to this. I don't know why. Maybe there's a psychological term for that, or maybe I'm just lazy. Something like that.
I mean, that is fair. And in honor of the Pokemon Go Day, I made my first 3D set. I think it's kind of cute.
I think you should bring it a little bit closer to the screen. Is that actually ash, or is that like red or blue from the game?
I believe it's from the game.
So it's the player, I mean it clearly looks like ash, but it's the player character from Pokemon Red or Blue. With a chunky Pikachu, not the revisionist, bullshit, sexy, slim Pikachu that got crammed down our throats later. Oh, and a Smetbo, which is what we Germans call Butterfree. In a greenish thing, which you cannot see because it's the kind of shade that gets eaten by the, by the green screen filter.
It's the first 3D one. Now I just gotta
find a place to put that.
Find a place to put it. I was thinking of like just somewhere here.
Do that. You also still haven't filled the Bellsprout.
Oh, that is true.
Fake
I gotta
dirt ground thing.
I gotta put the grass on it. If you give me the grass, I'll do it now.
No. I don't think I will. I think I'll instead be sitting here sweating. I put ice cubes
Time for fall.
into my drink.
That was gone instantly.
15 seconds before we appeared on camera. As it was cold tea. I made this an hour ago. As the ice cubes hit the liquid, they crackled and they're gone. And I can tell you that this is... Yeah, tepid.
You need a bit
more. It's my favorite
more,
word to describe drinks. It's,
a few more ice cubes to
We don't
fix
have
this.
ice cubes anymore. I did not prepare more than that. That's on me.
Didn't I make a tray yesterday?
Yeah, but I used those and I didn't refill it because I'm a selfish lover.
It's okay. I can make some more.
This is a good learning moment. This is my PSA to all of you. It's warm. Prepare ice cubes. Do it now. Don't think to yourself, but Jack, I'm warm. Learn from my mistake. You'll still be warm in a few hours. But if you invest the moment, if you get up right now and you go make ice cubes, in a few hours, you'll be a warm person with ice cubes in their drink. Which I'm not. And I don't think our freezer is powerful enough to make ice cubes happen until we go on a break, does it?
I don't think so.
It will just be cold water in the little tray.
Well, it might have an outer layer and then like liquid water on the inside.
Ooh, like one of those...
That looks kind of cool.
I forgot the fancy name, but one of those chocolate lava cakes?
Yeah,
with
exactly.
a liquid center, but it's just water.
Yeah.
It isn't fully frozen.
A water cube.
A water cake, but no.
And then you cut it in half and then the water comes out.
And then I'll make a video of it as I eat it, and then I go, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever eaten.
Basically.
Hashtag water diet or some bullshit like that.
Mommy.
Welcome in. Happy Monday. Something I didn't expect to say in I don't know how long. Thank you for the resub. Welcome in. How are you doing?
How's everyone's Monday coming along?
I've said it before, I say it again. I believe Mondays suck. And
Mondays
the reason
rough.
why Mondays suck to me, Mondays are my least favorite day of the week. Because
here it comes.
If you look at the week, the peak for me is Saturday morning. And that's a tie with Friday evening. Because
why Friday evening?
Friday afternoon, whenever you're done with work, assuming you work Monday through Friday. If you work shifts or different days, then your mileage might vary, but you will still understand what I'm talking about. But if you are lucky like me and you work just Monday to Friday, Friday afternoon, you are done with a work week and you've got the entire weekend ahead of you. If you do something Friday evening and you stay up late, you still got the weekend to recover. You've got the entire weekend to look forward to. And whether you make plans, I'll be productive and I'll be doing this and that. Or if you just decide, oh my god, I've got the whole 2 days, 48 hours ahead of me to do nothing. It's all there. The world is your oyster, or whatever the vegetarian version of it is. But it's
the world
beautiful.
Is your oyster an actual...
Yes, it is. It's a real phrase.
Why an oyster?
I don't know, because oysters are decadent and rich, and I don't know. I find the thought of eating them disgusting. I've never tried one. Maybe they are delicious and they deserve to be slurped up while they're alive. I do not know that. Not the point.
Yeah, it's kind of nasty.
Same for Saturday morning, because you can wake up with a feeling, oh my god, it's the weekend, I'm done. I can do whatever I want for 2 days.
That is very true.
And then for me, the weekend gets worse from that point onwards. Until Sunday evening, the Sunday evening dread sets in. The realization that in just 12, 13, 14 hours, whatever at that point, it's back to the grind of work. Which is why we stream on Sundays, so that I've got something to look forward to. True fact.
I don't really have the Sunday evening dread. I have the Monday morning alarm dread. I don't mind the evening. It's
since
just
I've
getting up.
been a kid going to school.
I prefer to just wake up without an alarm. Like, I'm usually awake pretty early anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but only in the weekend.
But only in the weekend, but then I wake up naturally, and then it seems like alright. But if I wake up at the same time during the week by my alarm, it sucks. And then you're tired, and you're exhausted, and it's like, just don't. It's the alarm that messes it up.
Yeah, no, I get that. But Mondays suck because, to me, you wake up Monday morning and you realize, oh god, 5 days ahead of me. Why couldn't the weekend last another day? And then you make it through Monday, and if you're lucky, you retain some of the memory of the freedom the weekend had. Or maybe your Monday was bad enough that it's all gone.
We're not dramatic at all.
I mean, I've had both kind of days. I can't complain currently. My day wasn't too bad. The only problem I really had is that it's warm. Which, you know, that's just how it is. And that, my work day was good. Nothing too eventful happened.
I mean, work...
But there's 4 more days of that now ahead of me.
When you look at work, I feel like Monday is usually the better day compared to like Friday.
How is a Monday better at work compared to a Friday?
Because Monday is usually kind of quiet because no one is really looking forward to the Monday. But on Friday, just before the weekend, is usually when shit goes wrong. Or you still need to finish up things before the week is over.
Fair.
Or because of that. So then towards Friday, I feel like there's more stress compared to the Monday. Where you feel like you have the entire week ahead of you. So all is
good. Yeah, okay, fair point. If something goes wrong on Monday, you've got the whole week to fix it. If something goes wrong Friday, crap, the week is over, it needs to be fixed right now.
Yeah.
And everybody's already gone. Yeah.
And everyone at our work seems to have gotten into the sort of trend to not really plan meetings on Monday. So Monday is usually relatively quiet now.
But doesn't that make the rest of the week more packed, more stressful?
Yeah, because then on Tuesday you have 9 to 4 meetings.
Yeah. Luckily work was as usual today. But... Good. I hope it always stays that way. Because I like a steady workload. And I think most people would.
Mondays aren't even that bad. It's just the end of the weekend.
Also, the thing you said, it doesn't apply to me. I have meetings on Monday.
Very little.
No, the normal amount for what I do, which isn't bad. And like, the beautiful thing is, I don't work with anybody who loves Mondays. So everybody comes in like with the same kind of energy. And thankfully, it's not the kind where we like drag each other down with, oh my god, Monday stuff. But it's more like, Monday is right, yeah, okay, let's get this done. So we get into a productive kind of rhythm rather quickly. After we all got done complaining that the weekend is over.
I think that's for everyone. Like you go into the typical, oh, how was your weekend? Oh, too short as usual.
Yeah.
And then you just go.
I talked to coworkers today and when it hit me, I think as far as like traditional work is being considered, my ultimate goal would be to find a position where I can make so much money that I can reduce the amount of time I work to only 2 days a week. Preferably...
2 days? You get nothing done with 2 days.
Yeah, I can. I'm that good. Preferably Monday, Tuesday or Thursday, Friday, because that means I've got 2 days of work and 5 days off. And, like, of course, I could also wish for not having to work, or just 1 day, but flipping the 2-5 on its head from 5 days of work to 2 days off
that's quite
to
nice,
2 days work, 5 days off. I don't know, that seems like even better to me somehow. Or maybe I'm not dreaming big enough. I don't know. Of course, if I were to win the lottery jackpot and suddenly become rich beyond measure, I would probably just quit.
I would go insane if I would only work 2 days. I would not know how to manage that. Like 4 days. 4 days is the dream.
I would love that. Imagine getting up in the morning and feeling freedom. Like on an existential level. Having fuck you money. The kind of money where you, if you want to set an alarm, you can. If you don't want to, you don't.
Well,
you just wake up and you do whatever you want.
In like 45 years we can go on our pension and then you can...
Then I'll be the one standing there complaining at everyone, you stupid kid, stop making noise! I've worked for 45 years to be on my pension, I want to leave. Something like that.
Basically like our neighbor who shouts from the balcony at the kids playing soccer on the soccer field.
Yeah, how dare they, right? How dare kids be kids? Weird.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Why are you playing outside? Play inside like normal kids.
I was born in a time where everybody told me to go outside and play.
And everybody just locked the door behind you.
It wasn't that bad, but my parents would have loved to have me out of the house even for just 30 minutes. I was a complete inside person though. I needed for a few years, you know, a lot of stuff to do after a while. Yeah, I mean, after I finished high school, I was unemployed looking for a job for 6 months and that destroyed me. Like, that sounds so negative. Like, but it really did a number on me. Like, I slept until like 2-3 p.m. I felt like I had no directive.
That's the mistake. You can't let yourself fully go.
Yeah, but I did. I got into a really dark spot mentally, and that was not good. So, I see what you mean, but I want to believe... I've never been rich. I don't know if I would feel the same way if I suddenly was. But I like to think I would be. I think, or I want to believe, that there's a difference between going, oh my god, it's Monday, I've slept until 3. The day is done. Like, there is not enough hours in the day left to do anything really. And I need to worry about my bills. I need to worry about the rest of my career. How is this gonna look in my CV? How do I explain this? How, you know, the existential crisis kicks in. Versus, oh, it's 11, I overslept. I think I'll go to my favorite cafe and have a late brunch for breakfast. And then maybe I'll go swimming. Or I'll be one of those really fancy people and look up fencing lessons. Or, hey Tifa, do you want to learn classic dances? I think we could be really good looking in like one of those fancy suits doing a waltz.
I would just stay inside and watch TV all day. That's going to be my problem. Like, I've considered working part-time at some point.
I think you'd get bored and then you would do things at some point. With the safety net of not having to worry about an income.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty lazy. Yeah.
So you need that structure.
I need some sort of structure, yeah.
Okay, listen.
I would fully let myself go and just play games all day, watch TV, don't do anything productive.
I'll offer you a deal. If we were to win the jackpot, yeah,
when we never buy tickets.
I'll take the money, and you have to work for me for it.
No.
But you said you couldn't just not have a structure like that. You would need work. So here's my solution. I'll give you work.
Yeah, but if you have like fuck you money, then you can just do something that you enjoy. Like then I would do some volunteer work.
Give me the money, Jack. Apparently, I would sooner give it to you than to her because she doesn't accept my proposition and I don't know why. It looks great to me on paper.
You have people like that, like your grandmother used to love, or I don't think she still does, but she loved playing the lottery. But she was always stressing like, oh no, but what if I win? I don't want to win. I don't know what to do with the money. And it's kind of cute because she always played for like the lower amounts. But thinking of winning like the jackpot stressed her out.
No, it didn't stress her out. It gave her anxiety attacks. Like, she's from a generation where they didn't believe in mental health. Like, it just wasn't a thing. Don't know why, but that's just how it is. So I don't think she knows that it's an anxiety attack. But she's had those. I know because I've seen them coming. Not like full on, thankfully. But like
jackpot.
No, but like the almost passing out from getting like heart palpitations. Yeah, I've seen that happen. And it's over something so... Like, I don't mean to make fun of this, but from something so ultimately positive to me, like winning the jackpot. She actually, do you know the story? Did I ever tell the story on stream? Doesn't matter. She once won a substantial amount of money.
What did she win?
Couple of $1,000. She doesn't play by herself, or she hasn't played by herself. She always played in a group of people. So they would all like chip in a couple bucks. Basically that. It's like bowling, but without the holes. It's weird. It's a German thing, I think.
Yeah, and the kegs are on strings.
Yeah, but not the point of the story. So she and her group of friends from work back then, they would all pitch in together, and then they would buy the tickets, and everybody had the same numbers, and then they would hand them in together. And at some point, they won a couple grand each. And I think they spent that all on a vacation all together. I think they went to Spain or something.
Well, that's quite nice.
Yeah, it was. But the funny thing about that story is that after they won, the first thing my grandmother did was complain about the amount of money they won. Like, oh my god, now I have to do something with this money. And like,
it's a type of stress. I can understand that.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's a different kind of stress, but the kind of stress she is dreading still to this day is the kind of stress I want. You know, stress is deeply personal. I've learned this over my career life so far. Like, the things one person might find stressful, another person would just thrive in. And I want the stress of a rich people life.
Not all stress is bad.
Not for everybody. For some it can be. But like, I want the stress of having more money that I know what to do with. Because to me, that will not be stress. Not at all. Nah.
Duality of man. Can say that again.
Psycho, if I was a billionaire, I would reach out to Twitch and I would pay somebody there to make sure that your stream streaks can never break again. If for some reason it doesn't credit you for watching a stream, which you did, they will retroactively put the number in there for you. That's the kind of billionaire I would be. I would just fix things, you know, super important stuff like stream streaks on the internet.
I'll just take the 10 million, thank you very much. No, Jeff Bezos wants the 10 million.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not Jeff Bezos anymore, is it?
I'm pretty sure he still gets money off of the money Amazon makes.
Who's the new Bezos?
I keep forgetting his name, but Bezos hasn't been the CEO of Amazon for a couple of years now, actually.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that. And I saw an article about it last time, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's very true.
Geoffrey Bezos? I don't know. The sequel? Somebody. I frankly don't care. Like, I'm happy for the opportunity Twitch provides to everybody using it, but yeah, as a company, not a fan of Amazon. Sorry. Don't hate me, Twitch. Please don't. Please don't destroy our lives.
It's the convenience.
You gotta go somewhere, right? Like, I try to choose the platforms that make sense and that are like the least evil. I think overall Twitch didn't go out of their way to ruin people's lives. So that's a positive, right? Do I believe that everything that Amazon does is a net gain for the world? No, but it's not like I can launch my own video streaming platform. Or can we?
You probably can, and then at some point you'll get bought by...
And then we get bought out by Amazon for $3.50. No, $3.50 as in $3.50 because we're gonna tank.
One free Twitch sub to spend as you like.
Yeah, something like that. You would go mad if I suddenly start buying server hardware and put... Like, where do I put it? I can't put it in here, the room is too small.
That is one thing.
Also, all the electricity and all that, nah. Did I say anything negative about Twitch? I didn't mean that. It was all for comedic purposes, I'm sorry. Talking about non-comedic purposes that are expressly made to make people feel bad. Tifa, what happened the last time we played Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 2 Watanagashi episode 9, I believe.
I am not 100% sure, but I believe we were at school.
Eventually, yes.
With our friends.
Yeah.
Doing school things. And we had a very bad night from what I recall. We were tired, we didn't sleep well. So
as we were about to go to bed the last time, we had a lengthy call from our favorite Sonozaki sister, Shion. Yeah. Potentially.
I already forgot that.
Not that we know if it's Mion or Shion at this point, because it's too ambiguous. But allegedly it was Shion who talked us into becoming informants for one another. And that maybe we should talk to the police. But if Keiichi does, he should totally leave out the fact that he's talking to Shion about this. But he should tell Shion everything that he learns from the police.
Shion's family is not loved by the police, so she should not tell them anything because they won't believe anything anyway.
And by the police doesn't love Shion's family, Tifa means to say that Shion, or whoever on the phone it was, once again explained to us in strenuous detail that the Sonozaki family is the Yakuza. In no uncertain terms. They are the bad people. They are the ones that did a bunch of illegal shit during the Hinamizawa dam wars. They attacked people, they've hurt people, they've destroyed lives, and they will gladly do so again if they need to. But of course that's only the main house people, like Grandma Sonozaki and Mion, who is second in line and supposed to take over, but not Shion.
Well, this was also the reason why the village looks up to the Sonozaki family, because while the village was doing everything the legal way, the Sonozaki family went the illegal way to fight for everything and basically got things done. So now they're like, local heroes.
And allegedly, at least in a way so that all the citizens have plausible deniability. Like, everybody knows that the Sonozaki family did something, but nobody knows exactly what they did, just that it worked and they won.
That I don't recall, but hey.
Not their words, but to that extent. So of course, Keiichi didn't sleep well. Had to go to school very tired.
Mion also came to school very tired.
Also came to school very tired.
I believe it was because she was searching for the mayor until 3 a.m. together with some members of her family.
Yes.
Which they didn't find him, by the way.
Correct.
So she was tired.
Yeah. Then we went to school. Had some, from what I can recall, more or less pointless conversations, which included Keiichi being very tired and thinking weird, intrusive thoughts. Until our beloved teacher, the curry lady, told us, Keiichi, go freshen up or something. It's school.
No, we were on the duty to plant the flowers.
Oh, true. That's why we were supposed to go outside.
Yeah,
it was
so
school break.
So we went outside to
It was recess.
to water the flowers.
True.
And then we ran into Rika. Which was kind of an odd conversation because we were all speaking in code, but basically Rika came with the story.
No, it started with Rika picking herself up off of the ground and brushing like grass off of her and looking like she was crying.
Did she?
Yes. So my mind at least went to maybe she had an altercation with Mion, who had also vanished for a while. You know? I wouldn't be shocked. Anyway, when we approached the adorable Rika-chan, she didn't say anything about that. And instead told us, no, everything's fine, bye. And walked away. But before that she interrogated us. By hugging us.
It wasn't an interrogation, she told us a story about
at the night of the
Watanagashi. Yeah, but that doesn't really matter. At the night of the Watanagashi, she told the story of how a cat broke into the warehouse and
saw things the cat shouldn't have seen, and all the things the cat saw only scared the cat because the cat is a cat.
Cat should keep meowing.
Keiichi thinking, okay, the cat is Takano-san, right? No, wait, the cat is me. Went along with the code talking to a degree. It got kind of confusing because they didn't use the names. Curiosity killed the cat. Potentially, yes.
It absolutely still might.
Assuming the cat is Takano and not Keiichi. That was getting less and less clear, which Keiichi even pointed out. Keiichi then also wanted to hint towards Ooishi-san and then said something about a sniffing dog.
Yeah, like Keiichi was pretty sure that Rika was on her, so kept going along believing that he was the cat, so kept asking questions about what the cat should do. Then
the cat should just keep meowing.
Yeah, Rika was implying that the cat should, or Keiichi should keep going as he actually has, and that she will protect him from everything that is going on.
She's made that very clear. I think she even said that twice. I will protect you.
She definitely made that very clear.
Which was really sweet, because I don't think that's good for her either.
After we implied that Ooishi being...
the dog.
The dog. Confusing dog, I think it was. I don't even know.
Some dog.
Was on to us. And then Rika kept going on that she will actually protect us, but that we should avoid or not mention anything to Mion for a while, because Mion is in a horrible mood.
The big sister cat is angry at the younger sister trickster cat, and we should just avoid her. Also, Tomitake and Takano-san, forget about them. If you think about it, you'll only get scared. Brush them from your mind like you are a squeaky clean bathtub.
Basically, yeah. It was a slightly confusing conversation because we also don't really know technically what or who implies to who. Like, we don't really know who the dog is?
It
has to be Ooishi, I guess.
It got more confusing when Keiichi brought up a dog, because Keiichi meant to say the police is on me because Ooishi-san knows that I've been there, or at least that's what he says.
Yeah, and then
but Rika went with, oh, the dog actually got the mayor.
And then it can't really be Ooishi anymore, so now the question is, who's the dog? I think our recap was really confusing, but the conversation was also confusing. So we're just gonna go with it and we'll see.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Basically.
The one thing I needed on top of all of the already pre-existing confusion about all the things that are happening, like story-wise, is them speaking in code. Like, why? Why'd you have to make it harder for me?
I'm not too sure, but Keiichi is still in denial mode, and I guess this allowed him to not confess.
Something like that. Tifa, are you ready?
Because I am ready. Something like that.
Pling. Video games. Continue. I told myself yesterday, actually, I need to load from here. I think it was here.
No, wait, that was June 26.
Why am I so bad?
Just look at the date first before you press OK.
I mean, I could. Friday, July 12th, that's not it. June 26th. Wait, what?
How about we save them in an order? When was our last stream?
Where did I... It did save, right? Friday, July 12th. Oh, we didn't stream on Sunday. It has to be this one. Yes, Friday. There we go.
Yeah, okay, then it makes sense.
Oh, actually, we told you the story in reverse.
The conversation with Shion was after. And then Shion still asked us, like, oh, is there anything you still want to share with me? And now we're doubting whether we should share the conversation with Rika.
See, it's warm over here. Can you tell that we have Monday brain?
Quite badly.
But kudos to us. I think we remembered all the important parts. We just mixed up the order.
It's the heat. Hey, that's so nice.
Do you need to get like a fan kind of thing?
No, my eyelids are just very heavy.
What part of you isn't very heavy?
Wow, rude.
Why did you have to laugh?
That doesn't mean it's not rude.
Just because it's true doesn't mean it also hurts. Oh, should I tell her that I revealed everything to Rika-chan? Rika-chan was acting like she knew something I didn't. She told me to leave it to her, but what? Ah, that's right. When I was talking to her, I mentioned Shion's name too. Was that a mistake? I felt like Shion would get angry.
Nothing else? Kei-chan?
I had remained quiet for a little while, so Shion encouraged me to speak, unable to bear the silence. As I struggled with what to say, Shion addressed me instead.
Doesn't sound like it, so can I ask you something?
When somebody starts stammering, looking for words, when you ask them if there is something they want to say, there is something they want to say, but they're struggling with it. This is not how you obtain further information from them.
I just heard this myself. Is it true that old man that old man Kimiyoshi went missing?
Tifa, how? How is it that every single time a Japanese word or name pops up, your brain just goes self-destruct?
It's like skimming over it. And then I overthink it, and then it just like jumbles into one.
At least you didn't read it together to like kimchi or something.
Yeah, sure.
The old man Kimiyoshi? My gut told me that was the name of a mayor. You mean the mayor? Wait, Shion, you haven't heard?
It's an alternative pronunciation, Jack. Yeah, the mayor and me were like this, you know, and that's his nickname. But I keep forgetting not everyone knows his nickname, so I have to, like, say it correctly.
Tifa went full in on her fandom for Higurashi and called him by his first name, not his family name. I get it, it's on me.
I don't know anything. I just overheard my dad talking about it on the phone again.
I realized I shouldn't have said that. Here in Hinamizawa, the things that happened around this time when Oyashiro-sama's curse would recur would all be covered up. Yeah, actually, last night after a meeting he didn't come home, so all of Hinamizawa was confused. They searched all through the village, but if they found him, then I haven't heard. The police should be searching for him as well.
Why didn't you tell me something that important right away?
She shouted angrily at me, bringing all her emotion to bear. Bringing all your emotion to bear. That's something people do sometimes. They just go out in a forest and find a bear and go, I'm sad. And how do the bears react? I want an emotional support bear. No? I'm sorry. Okay, listen. Walking up to a random bear into the wilderness is asking to be killed in the most gruesome way possible. But how adorable would it be if there's actually a subspecies of bears living out there, actually wanting people to approach them and talk about their feelings? Don't try this yourself. You will get mauled by a bear. Trust me. Just don't do that. But imagine. Also, wait, is that why pandas exist?
With a panda, you might be able to do that. Even though I still wouldn't recommend, I guess.
I want to find some kind of bear that is completely non-violent, but I don't think that exists. Because pandas are they seem very non-threatening and they look like they are one of the dumbest creatures on earth. But pandas can and did fuck some people up. Pandas are disgustingly strong.
Pandas still have some teeth and claws on them.
And they are physically strong as hell.
I mean, it's still a bear.
Yeah, they don't look like it because all they do is like, panda? But if they want to murder you, they will. But then I was, in my mind, like jumping to koalas. Koalas are adorable. I mean, koalas are the dumbest animal alive. Like, look it up. It's a wonder that they still exist, that they're still around. But did you know that all of koalas have chlamydia?
Yeah, but I think koalas can also be pretty dangerous. Have you seen the claws on those things?
But they're too dumb to use them.
I wouldn't risk it.
Tifa, a koala won't eat eucalyptus if it isn't looking like it's still stuck to the tree.
Yeah.
If you take a eucalyptus leaf and pluck it off of a tree and you hold it to the koala to eat, it won't eat it. It will rather die.
Yeah, because it's dirty. Teddy bears, Jack. I think you're talking about teddy bears. Like, that's a good alternative.
Okay, fair, yes. I need an emotional support teddy bear for Higurashi. Yeah, okay.
I think I can take on a koala. Let me know when you have the chance.
It needs to be consensual though. It needs to be a koala that wants to get into a kerfuffle with you. Because the mental image of it makes me chuckle, but just walking through Australia until you find a koala sitting on the ground and then full force punting it into the sky, the absurdity makes me chuckle.
How about sloths?
But don't do that. That's mean. Sloths are really strong and they can move fast. They just usually choose not to.
They'll perforate you like...
They will stab you to death. They will stab you to death. No joke. There's a reason why like slacking in Pokemon is actually super strong. Like, that's based on true facts. Oh, koalas are fine. Watch out for the drop bears living in the same tree as them, though. What is a drop bear, and do I want to Google that?
You can just imagine you're walking under the tree and all of a sudden... Oh, that actually still looks like a koala.
The drop bear is a hoax in contemporary Australian folklore, featuring predatory carnivorous version of a koala. This imaginary animal is commonly spoken about in tall tales designed to scare tourists. You got one of us, mommy.
Wait, but seriously, does Australia even need to scare tourists?
Yeah, Australians, what the fuck are you doing?
Like, have you seen...
You are Australia. You don't need to threaten nobody.
Have you seen what all lives in Australia? They don't need drop bears. Everything in Australia is willing to kill you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why the British set foot on the island and went like, yeah, no, this is a prison. Like, we're gonna use this land.
I always thought like kangaroos and stuff were like the cutest thing ever. Until I saw videos of how they drown their prey, and now kangaroos are scary motherfuckers.
First of all,
let's
kangaroos
not even
are
talk.
Jacked. Like, they will punch you and they will break your bones. But if you see a kangaroo standing in the water, avoid it. Because it's gonna take you, put you in a headlock, and then drown you. That's true. You can look that up if you want.
It's creepy as fuck.
Also,
let's not even talk about
the size of cars.
The spiders, the bugs, the snakes, everything else that's alive, basically.
Yeah. Except for Australians. Usually they're pretty chill. I mean, I think you have to if you're surrounded by that kind of wildlife. Yeah. Dark Lord, happy Monday. Welcome in. How are you doing? The idea is to usually prank people by offering ridiculous solutions to avoid drop bears. Umbrellas?
That has to be a really sturdy one.
My honest reaction when I'm riding a bicycle and suddenly, kookaburra, isn't that a bird?
Is that the green bird that Oh, no, it's not.
No, that's the one that laughs really cute.
Those are really adorable.
Yes, kookaburras are adorable. They have this call that sounds like they're laughing and it can go on forever. And if you listen to it on like YouTube, if you don't live near them, I think it's absolutely adorable and I would love that in my neighborhood. But I can imagine if you live next to a flock of them, that gets old pretty fast.
They go,
oh, they also crack your skull. I did not know that.
I thought it was that green bird that I believe can't fly and likes to fuck everything that it sees, like stones, rocks, photographers,
documentary
heads.
People. Yeah, this was one. I think it's from a Stephen Fry narrated documentary where they film in the jungle and the kakapo. Yes, that's it. The kakapo. They're adorable.
No, wait. Is that it?
Yes, it is. They are these like bigger lumbering birds and they're flightless, so they just walk around.
Yeah.
And when this guy is trying to take pictures or something, and the kakapo looks at him, walks around, jumps on his back and starts mating with his head.
Oh yeah, those are in New Zealand. I thought they were also in Australia.
Oh, New Zealand, okay.
Yeah, New Zealand and just New Zealand. But I thought it was New Zealand and in Australia.
We can move them.
I only put in kakapo in the search thing, and the first question from Google is, how do kakapos smell?
Can you blame people with that name for the bird?
Apparently it has a really strong smell, like flowers and honey.
Why did they name it kakapo then?
I know, right?
Weird. Then again, Flo Honeydew doesn't really sound like an animal name.
That's something else.
Total mindfuck. Literally. My first thought was the Kea, but kakapo is absolutely wrong. They're adorable. I would love to have a corgi and a kakapo.
That would be really so cute.
With a kakapo riding the corgi, because it's faster.
I would love a bird. Birds are absolutely adorable. When we were in the Netherlands, we went to a pet store that had some parrots.
Yeah.
And I put on Despacito. And the birds were all like...
That was really cute.
Bye.
together with the beat. They didn't just randomly do that. They actually went along with the music.
They're like dancing along, and it's like super adorable. Birds are so happy.
Oh, the name Kakapo is Maori and comes from Kaka, which means parrot, and Po, which means night. Hence the nickname Parrot Owl. Okay.
That makes more sense, because if you would go in German, Kaka, you can use...
I think that works in most countries.
In English as well.
Yeah.
For shit. Po.
Thanks for explaining, nobody knew.
I'm just saying it, Po in German.
Po in German is butt.
Is butt. So it kind of like fits together.
Yeah. Only Kakapo is probably illegal. They are critically endangered. We need to fix this. Okay. Psycho, remember how earlier I said if I'm a billionaire, I'll pay somebody for stream streaks and stuff, and you want 10 million? I have to put that into Kakapo preservation.
We should let Disney make a movie about it, because what could go wrong?
Oh yeah, who made that movie about that blue parrot that then went extinct a few years later?
I think was that Disney or Pixar?
Somebody.
Don't forget the clownfish in
Pixar
Nemo,
is...
which went...
Oh yeah,
close to extinction.
When Disney made Finding Nemo, and suddenly every 2-year-old needed to have clownfish, and all of the dumb parents went like, let's buy all the clownfish, making them endangered almost, and not taking good care of them, because you know, my kid watched the movie, how bad can it be?
Rio,
yes.
And that was even to... I think Rio 2... is even to put the whole extinction thing
he finds a girlfriend.
Focus. Yeah, he finds a girlfriend and they try to make him breed.
And shortly after the movie came out, all of them went extinct.
Blue Sky Studios made Rio.
No.
Who owns them?
Not me. Jack wants to save an endangered animal just because he wants it as a pet. I mean, I'm pretty sure one of the Kakapos will love being an inside Kakapo, and that one can stay with me. The ones that want freedom, I'm not gonna keep them. Like, I don't have the space, but if there's one that's really lazy and just wants to get scritches all day, I'm here for it. Disney's were the ones who shoved the lemmings off a cliff and won an Academy Award for it. True story. That I just learned that the other day, actually, during our vacation. I forgot what video I watched on YouTube, but they talked about that. It's true. Yeah.
Well, the problem is you can't blame Disney.
Yes, you can. I blame Disney.
They made a cute movie about a fish, for example.
I don't care. I blame Disney.
And then people started hunting them like crazy because they got popular.
Yeah.
But you can now kind of expect the moment... Zootopia 2 is coming soon. The moment there's some kind of exotic animal in there that's going to be fan favorite.
Yeah.
That needs extra protection.
I can and I will blame Disney. Do I believe there are an incredible amount of super talented, wonderful people working at Disney, working their butts off to make amazing things happening? Yes. Do I like Disney as a company? No. Not one bit.
Finding Nemo is pretty anti-owning fish. I mean, it's all about getting back into the ocean. But
leave it to the average person to miss the message. There was a message? What? Next thing you're gonna tell me it's not good to throw all my trash into the sea.
But the message got lost next to the adorableness.
I don't have the brain cells for that. I see clownfish, I want clownfish.
It's like, oh cute, let's get it.
And when the movie was released, Blue Sky was owned by 20th Century Fox, who then got bought by Disney. So in the end, it's still Disney.
Oh.
Just not at the time. So.
Even before that, it kind of gave off Disney vibes already.
Yeah. I now want a pet water droplet thanks to Elemental. Good. Go to the next tab for water and get one water droplet out.
Elemental was a pretty good movie. I feel like that should have done better than it did.
Maybe it's going to become a cult classic and then they're going to make 16 more movies.
It kind of should.
And then people want pet fire. And it's going to spawn a whole generation of arsonists, unfortunately.
I watched it like 5 times. It is really nice. It was refreshing.
No,
Does that make sense?
If only I'd watched it a 6th time in the cinemas, it would have not bombed. So, no, you're not to blame for that.
I don't remember if Elemental caught up in the box office or not. But it did not deserve to flop. Or it does not deserve to flop. It was a really nice movie. Maybe I'll watch that again this week.
Good. Meanwhile, sorry, I thought you already knew. Why
You're
am I
not in
clicking
the
into
game.
Twitch? I didn't want to hide it or anything. And the receiver was silent. Did Shion get mad again and hang up? Hey, Shion? Hello?
Kei-chan? What should I do?
Shion's tiny, confused voice sounded like it belonged to a different person than the one yelling a few seconds ago. What's wrong? Tell me. We're not keeping secrets from each other, right? Shion hesitated for a long while, but then she confessed.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hide it. It was just that. Well, the conversation got turned around and...
We're on the same side, right? I won't get mad, so tell me honestly. Shion still hesitated for a few moments. And then, in a resigned voice, she continued.
Old man Kimiyoshi. I told him everything.
Okay, so that's why he had to go.
Well, that's the question. Did someone make him disappear for knowing?
I mean, ultimately...
Or did he try to do something to help them?
I think the bigger question is, would the Sonozaki family act against one of their own? Would Grandma Sonozaki kill or disappear one of her granddaughters over this?
I think yes. Don't forget, the Furude family was pretty big too before the priest got killed.
Yeah, but they were not the Sonozaki family.
No, but they're still one of the top 3 families. And don't forget, they used to have the power before the Sonozakis.
No, they didn't. That was the Kimiyoshi family.
No, I think that was
no,
them.
Kimiyoshi, 100%.
Well, it doesn't matter.
The
They're still
fates
top
of
3
those two
families.
flipped.
And they had no issue killing off the head.
Yeah, but that's a different family.
Doesn't matter, I think.
We will find out.
Also, Mami, thank you for the look.
Thank you very much. If you can still hear us. If you don't, well, we said it anyway. So, it is the truth. Shion seemed to think I would yell at her right after she said that, so I heard her catching her breath. Contrary to what she thought, I was a little relieved. Shion had done the same thing I had when I confessed everything to Rika-chan. So, in a gentler voice as I could, so as to not set her off, I responded. Old man Kimiyoshi, he's someone you feel comfortable confiding to, Shion?
Yes. When I was little, he was really nice to me.
Shion felt the same pain as the rest of us. Shion felt the same pain as the rest of us from the mayor's disappearance. She had a different kind of strength from me on it. As she continued, her voice sounded truly sad and pained.
Same pain as the rest of us. Can you... What kind of pain does Keiichi have about the mayor disappearing?
I think this Keiichi is fundamentally different from the Keiichi in Chapter 1. Chapter 1 Keiichi didn't subscribe to the whole, oh, I'm part of a village thinking. And here it's like, oh, I'm one of the people here. The Hinamizawans all came... Gasp, what makes you say that? I've always said it's a multiverse or a time loop.
Yeah, from the beginning.
Yeah.
First stream, it was like, yeah, this is gonna be...
It was one of my predictions, even. Why does the command not work? That
it does. But Dark Lord triggered
it first. Okay. 2 geniuses, 1 thought. Sorry. Where was I going? I've been called out on my bullshit and now my brain didn't work. Yeah. Keiichi in Chapter 1 didn't believe or didn't feel like he was part of Hinamizawa. I think Chapter 2 Keiichi, at the very least at this point in the story, very much believes himself to be part of Hinamizawa.
Not yet, because we had this whole bit in the beginning, or like mid-story from where we are now, about how it would be nice to be a part of this.
Yeah, but he is. The citizens came to his aid. They helped him. They saved him from the delinquents.
Yeah, but after that we still had the, oh, it would be nice and blah blah blah.
We didn't have those conversations anymore. He went to the Watanagashi setup, he helped with the setup, he bonded with the old folks when having a beer after a hard day of work.
Yeah, but we don't know if he fully feels part of it yet.
Unrelated but related. I am fully okay with you yawning all the time because you're beat and it's been a long day and it's super warm. But how the fuck do you manage to yawn after every sentence?
Because
I've never seen that. How do you yawn every 11.5 seconds? I'm scientifically flabbergasted. I didn't know the human body was capable of yawning this much.
Well, it's quite easy. Part of it is skill. There's also a bit of the temperature. And then you have the being always exhausted. And then it's just like 1 + 1 + 1. It's like
2.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Todd Howard. Oh wait, no, not... Wait, Todd Howard is the guy from Bethesda, the one that goes, do you see that mountain? You can climb it. What was the guy...
Besides, the small ones I can...
The name of a guy from the first Iron Man movie who was supposed to be War Machine, but then got shit-canned and replaced by Don Cheadle. He's the weird math guy who got replaced by Don Cheadle. Terrence Howard, not Todd Howard. I'm an idiot. Thanks, Terrence Howard. Yeah, if you ever want to get a truly mind-boggling experience, look up videos of Terrence Howard explaining math. He believes that 1 × 1 is 2.
Damn, makes sense.
Are you trying to be Finding Nemo?
I shall watch some videos.
Please don't. Keiichi really is getting to be a part of a small town village. Yes, exactly.
He's getting there, but does he fully feel integrated yet?
Tifa, he has been saved by the group from the delinquents. He's helped with the setup, bonded with the villagers.
That doesn't necessarily mean he feels like a villager at this point.
He went out of his way to help all the shopkeepers during the Watanagashi festival by pitching their products. He gets super mad when he got super mad when Oishi told him, "Did you know that we're actually the Yakuza and you're in the wrong crowd, my friend?"
Yeah, because he was talking directly about his friend.
Yeah, and they're part of the town. Keiichi in chapter 2 very much is growing into a patriotic role about his feelings for Hinamizawa. Whereas in chapter 1 he was like, look at these villagers.
I think so as well, but is he fully there yet?
Well, clearly enough to have these feelings presented to you right now.
And what I also mean is that he didn't really seem to care about the disappearance of the mayor, besides the fact that he is relieved for not being missing himself.
But those two are not mutually exclusive.
It wasn't like, oh no, the mayor is missing. How...
The mayor is super important to Shion, who he has feelings for, and if somebody close to you goes missing, I'll also feel bad, even if I don't know him.
Yeah, but that's not how this conversation went.
Just accept it.
Yeah, well...
Read your line, Shion.
All I did was play tricks on him, and he would always just smile. He listened to anything I had to say. He was such a kind person.
Calm down, Shion. It's not like he's dead, right? Don't lose heart so easily. Shion didn't answer. Even as I said it myself, I didn't think we'd ever find the missing mayor again. We probably wouldn't even figure out if he was alive or dead. Shion must have been thinking the same thing.
At night, I told the mayor that we snuck into the ritual storehouse. Also that someone saw us and was out to get us.
Does the mayor know how absurdly Takano-san and Tomitake-san died?
Yes. He knew about it. I told him that they died by oyashiro-sama's curse and that I could be made a sacrifice to calm his anger. I just said it straight out.
Right. What then?
Old man Kimiyoshi didn't get angry. He smiled and then told me that if I was properly sorry about it, there was no way I'd be demoned away. He was really smiling. And he told me to leave it to him.
Until Shion stopped sobbing, I was unable to find any words for her. I couldn't imagine what kind of person the mayor was, nor what Shion's relationship with him was like. Words of comfort, however, mean so much to us when we're about to be crushed by anxiety. Today, Rika-chan taught me that too. If someone who gave me such a sense of security were to disappear, and I could guess what kind of shock Shion was in.
It's my fault. Because I revealed everything.
Stop it, Shion. It's not your fault.
No! It's my fault! I told him everything! Old man Kimiyoshi found out about everything. So he has to have been killed. It was right after I told him, after all. He disappeared the same night that I confessed. And he told me everything was going to be alright.
Why are you so good at this?
I started laughing at the last line.
It still sounded like you were crying. What the?
Okay.
If you're ever receiving a call from a sobbing Tifa, keep this in mind. Like, he found out, so he became involved. Terrifying acting skills. Yeah, even when she says, she started to crack up and laugh. Like, my face was going like this because it was getting to me.
If there's one thing I can do, it's the crying, usually. Sorry.
Please never use that.
I'm out of it.
Against anybody?
I should never have told him. All of this should have just been our fault. Only the four of us. It wasn't something I should have told to someone else. He got killed because I told him. He got killed because he knew. He got killed because I revealed it.
Hey, stop. If they were doing that, then they would obviously have killed you before killing the mayor. The order is all wrong. You or I should have been killed first. Why the hell would someone else get killed first?
No, it's in order. They must be planning to kill us last of all.
Huh? What?
They're not killing the first people who come to mind. They start by killing those we're close to. And then after they've caused so much pain, they'll kill us. That's what must take that. That must be what they're doing.
I said calm down. You're in shock, you're panicking. The mayor's disappearance has nothing to do with you. It's unconnected. It's not related to Takano-san and Tomitake-san dying at all either. Why do they first make us suffer according to her? Is that the Sonozaki family style handwriting?
Well, we have learned that they like some torture in between.
Yeah, but there's a difference between showing me the instruments used for physically torturing somebody as they are to die from being gutted and to destroy someone on a psychological level by taking away everybody that they hold dear first.
I agree, but I don't think thinking rational is the way to go here.
That will really calm her down and not make her think of killing people, Keiichi. I know, right? For such a soul of a poet, he is really, really bad at the pep talks.
He's panicking himself too. What pep talk can you give about someone disappearing?
Yeah.
In what you believe is yourself?
As a 15-year-old, plus that. My words came out as a scream, as if I were shouting them at myself.
No! It is connected. It just has to be. I told him, so he was killed. He got killed because he knew. I confessed it to him, so he got killed.
She repeated the same thing as before, as though she were in a delirium. Despite my trying to console the crazed Shion, for some reason the shadow at my feet began to freeze. From that shadow, a cold arm reached out, so cold it seemed like it would freeze even my heart just by touching me, and grabbed my ankle. The heat generated by my body, the arm was absorbing it.
I did not see this coming.
It was a horrible chill. Freezing cold, numbingly frigid. It was an inviolable chill of fears. Though I sympathized with Shion, I had been naive in thinking it was something only she had to worry about. In my head, Shion's eerie words repeated again and again. He was killed because I told him. He was killed because he found out. I confessed everything, so he was killed. Those words echoed through my head like a monotone mantra, and finally those even repetitions took on meaning. The quiet shaking that had already overtaken me turned into a violent shiver that shot up my spine. Rika-chan! It's Rika-chan!
What? What did you say just now?
Well, the truth is, I told her about it. I told Rika-chan today.
Rika-chan? You mean Rika-chama? The one from the Furude Shrine?
Yes, Rika-chan. I felt so scared and uneasy that I did it. I told Rika-chan.
When you did, what did she say?
The cat is worrying too much. I'll do something about it for sure. That's what Rika-chan said, and then she smiled. She smiled just like the missing mayor had when he encouraged Shion. I'm sorry, Shion. I'm a bit worried about Rika-chan.
Right. If you're that concerned, then don't worry about me. Please, go find out whether she's safe.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'll call you again tomorrow at the same time. When I do, you'll know I'm still alright.
I get it. I'll be waiting. Okay, bye. Sorry, I'm hanging up. I put down the receiver while waiting for Shion to say goodbye. The danger to Shion and myself was secondary at this point. My sixth sense was blaring alarms in my head. I don't like this feeling. It's really bad. It's definitely bad. Damn it. Please be safe. Rika-chan. I'm beginning to see patterns. A Watanagashi happens. Somebody dies.
Mm-hmm.
And a person that copies the behavior of someone also appears.
A person that copies behavior appears, as it?
Another person appears, but a person copies somebody else's behavior. In chapter 1, we don't know what happened to Takano-san. Just that she vanished. It could just be that she's also been killed, but just not found yet. But Tomitake-san died, clawed out his throat the same way as here.
Mm-hmm.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
And then something happened to Takano-san, doesn't matter. But in chapter 1, we had Satoshi, who got a baseball bat and started practicing his swing, and then he transferred out.
Mm-hmm.
After breaking down about all of this and trying to think of solutions to stay safe, Keiichi in chapter 1 decides to get Satoshi's baseball bat, starts practicing his swing, and stuff happens to him.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 2, the Watanagashi happens, Tomitake-san dies, somebody vanishes, and Rika-chan does the same things the mayor does. If she is now also gone, I think the repeating somebody else's behavior is part of whatever the Higurashi loop is going to be.
I see where you're coming from, but that seems...
I'm trying to find patterns.
far-fetched.
You are far-fetched. And not the cool Galarian one that evolves into Surfetch.
I dropped my leak. I'll never evolve.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's patterns.
I'm not sure if I call it a pattern yet. Coincidence? No.
I don't believe in coincidences.
A pattern?
Time for tips. From the scrapbook 8.
Before we start the tip, I say we take a short break.
After the tips. There is no coincidence, only hit Susan. I don't even know her.
What did Susan know?
What did Susan do? Pretty
tree.
sure it's Japanese and I don't understand.
The three families in modern times.
As previously described, the three families council today is a mere shell of democracy. In reality, it's a dictatorship run by the Sonozaki family. Both the Kimiyoshi and Furude families are far from their former glory, and it doesn't seem at all like they've maintained the ancient traditions. Only the Sonozaki family has retained their glory from the past and has inherited many colorful traditions from the age known as Onigafuchi village. Even the most recent verifiable example of Watanagashi that occurred at the end of the Meiji era seems to have been done under the orders of the Sonozaki family, referred to the three families' genealogical tree from the late Meiji. After the start of the Meiji era, the Sonozaki family wanted to push the development of Hinamizawa village, so they took a strong role in leadership. During the dam wars a few years ago, the Kimiyoshi family served as the chair of the opposition alliance, but this was in name only. In actuality, the Sonozaki family reigned as leader behind the scenes. People whisper that perhaps the Kimiyoshi family dictated acts of opposition that could be publicized, and the Sonozaki family enacted those which could not. Even in Hinamizawa, they whisper that the multitude of unsettling incidents reported during the dam protests, such as the kidnapping of a famous head of the Ministry of Construction's son, had been carried out by the Sonozakis. That's something we didn't know yet.
We did. That was mentioned in this chapter, I believe.
Oh yeah, true. Somehow my mind conflated the dam construction worker that got dismembered and the kidnapping into the same person. But
no, the kidnapping we learned from Shion during the phone call, I believe, as one of the things the family did.
Yeah, true. Fair enough. Okay.
But it is new information, yeah.
That only gives credibility to they make the people suffer before they kill them.
If she believes her family is behind it, which I don't think so.
Somebody does. Additionally, they say that perhaps the Sonozaki family's secret maneuvering was responsible for the serial freak death incidents that have continuously occurred in recent years as well. The serial freak death incidents are without a doubt the second coming of a traditional Watanagashi. They must be enacting the Watanagashi on the day of the original Watanagashi, which has fallen to the level of an ordinary village festival, in order to remind the villagers of the holy laws of Onigafuchi village. It's safe to assert that exploring the Sonozaki family is the fastest route for researching it today. If I can expose the contents of a Furude Shrine storehouse, I'd like to narrow my research target to the Sonozaki family next. The Sonozaki house is strictly guarded by security cameras on the premises, but thankfully I've become acquainted with the sisters Mion, the next heir, and Shion. I want this to be a breakthrough I can connect to my next line of research.
But wait, does that mean she made a deal?
No, Takano-san specifically became friends with Mion and Shion to get an in.
Yeah, but does that mean she made a deal with one of them to have the cameras turned off?
Potentially.
Because otherwise, it's no reason they got found out.
You know what's really dumb? Back when the storehouse thing happened, I was sitting here like, yeah, they probably have like their ninja clan people sitting in the trees watching. Yeah, security cameras. Of course, security cameras. It's the mid-1980s. They have security cameras by then. It's a bit easier than having Naruto-style people everywhere.
I'd like to have another scrapbook entry.
I hope there's more. Their punishment isn't over? No, don't worry about it. You see, when you order the Oden here, for some reason it ends up on the annual invoice for our gas contract. So don't be shy and have another drink. What? The man, red-faced, waved his hand to say that he'd had enough and disappeared into the brilliant neon lights in front of the station. Kuma-chan, you should be taking notes. The most modest people are the ones who live the longest.
Was all that true?
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know that it's true. I think there's meaning in hearing something that sounds so plausible.
Would something like that be a motive to go for the mayor?
Kuma-chan, here's what I always say. The motive only has to be enough of a person in question. You need to think about how different people value different things. Hey, bartender, give me another mug.
Oh, I think he means this will get paid for by the station in the end. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but isn't that wild?
Well, if it's part of their investigation. It's like lunch paid for by the company. Because it's a business lunch.
No, I get the whole lobbyism, trying to bribe people thing. Like, I understand that as a concept. But does nobody ever check the bills? Is their accounting also in on all of this? Oh well.
If it's low enough, probably not.
Drinking after work is a common Japanese workplace thing. I'm so glad I'm not part of that culture, because this is the lower end of embezzlement. Yeah, I mean, if everybody does it, it's alright, right? Editor's note, it's not.
Well, he is working.
Yeah, clearly. Though we have been suppressing the information, Tomitake and Takano's deaths were already known throughout Hinamizawa. All of the rumors pointed to them having incurred the wrath of Oyashiro-sama for setting foot in the Forbidden Temple, a storehouse for ritual implements. According to the rumors, there were two other people who went in there with him, Shion Sonozaki and Keiichi Maebara. People were whispering in the shadows that those two would be cursed by Oyashiro-sama as well. Apparently, however, the responsibility didn't fall solely on the four trespassers' shoulders. Until last year it was locked up tight, but this year it had been changed to a simpler lock. Hadn't that been what allowed thieves to enter so easily? It was with rumors going around. Have you ever seen it, Kuma-chan? I remember it well. I had to go there for something quite a while back.
Sorry, I don't really remember.
It was locked up so tight it was scary. There were these real heavy bars holding it shut. It was sealed up as good as a bank vault. And this year it was a very simple and cheap padlock. The lone girl protecting the shrine, Rika Furuta, disliked the heavy locks and consulted with the mayor, who had replaced it with a simpler padlock.
So then the mayor and Rika Furuta share the crime? So then, after the mayor, wouldn't Rika Furuta be in danger next?
There's a decent possibility. Kuma-chan, I want you to contact all the cars we have in Hinamizawa. Tell them to stick near the Furuta shrine.
Got it! But that means them telling...
The telling isn't the problem. If Rika and the mayor are now demoned away, dead, whatever, I would assume it's because the logic goes, Rika complained the security was too much because it was inconvenient. The mayor allowed for the change of the padlock. Therefore, these two are to blame for somebody trespassing.
Yeah, they displeased Oyashiro.
And potentially, because I'm still thinking about the whole Yakuza loyalty thing, and potentially Shion and Keiichi get away with it because Shion is the daughter and Keiichi is the friend.
Nah, friends will not get you away. Family also will not get you away, I'm telling you.
I think it will.
Nah, it would definitely will not.
A little bit of corruption never harmed anyone.
Yeah, a little bit is okay.
That's what they say when they do the thing, and I think it has.
Just a little bit.
Time for a short break. Some more cold drinks.
BRB.
BRB.
We're back.
We are. Yes, I turned my microphone back on. Are you ready, Tifa?
I am
Episode
ready.
10. I don't know why, but this one somehow feels longer than the first chapter. Or maybe that's us going on more wild tangents.
The chapter in general or the episodes?
The chapter in general. And to think there for a second, because the whole episode's chapters thing is throwing me off. So, do you think Rika is dead?
Dead, who knows? Missing? Probably
okay,
yes.
To not be seen anymore.
I think so,
in
yeah.
an alive state.
I'm gonna go with yes.
After hanging up on Shion, I searched for Rika-chan's phone number on my school's contact list. There it is. My fingers trembled with urgency and I failed multiple times to put on the simple 5-digit number.
But I think right now, she's still gonna be there.
Let's find out.
Keiichi? Are you calling someone at this hour? It's late and it's being rude to the other person.
But in this case it's okay, because the person we're calling is rude. It's rude to call somebody at this hour.
But why? What makes it okay?
Because it's Rika Rude. That's her name.
I see where you were going, but it doesn't apply.
You know, every time you do this to me, every time you make me repeat or explain the joke, it just automatically kills it.
Yeah, but it doesn't really work.
I'm here.
In this situation, it didn't work.
I'm here fishing, like trying to catch fish to release them. Like I throw the tackle, I feel the pull, I get it out. I want to take a picture of this beautiful fish, tag it, and throw it back in. So I do the joke, I throw out the line, I finish it, the fish is in my hands, and as I'm about to take a picture of the fish, Tifa comes with a shotgun, blasts it in the head, so I've got fish pulp on my face, and then she goes, I didn't get it.
Well, that makes for an interesting picture, doesn't it?
And then I try to put the fish gore back together, explaining the joke, and then I've got fish mush everywhere, and Tifa goes, huh, oh, it's funny. 5 out of 10. Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Nathan Alcantara? Oh, sorry, I messed up.
Nathan Alcantara. That sounds super soft. I like it.
How you doing? Keiichi, it's okay, Mom. I'm just rizzing a girl.
That lingo doesn't exist yet.
That
did it?
That was not poetic enough to work in the 80s, apparently.
What if, first of all, welcome in Nathan. I'll call you Nathan, it's shorter, I'm sorry. I hope it's okay with you. What if that is a semi-soft spoiler? And one of the next line is actually Keiichi going, it's okay, Mom, I'm just rizzling up this girl. And actually, Higurashi becoming popular again in this time is what started the rizzling craze. What if Riz has always been there? It just wasn't found until just recently.
I almost feel it resonate within me.
You mean resonating? Get with a program.
Missed opportunity.
On cap, on God, no cap, for real, for real. That is so Ohio of you.
I'm just being bomb diggity with it now.
That's radical, Dark Lord. Cowabunga, my dude.
What was the slang in the 80s anyway?
You know, in this instance, I know it's just an emote, Psycho, and you know, you can never tell what somebody's doing on the other side of the screen. For all we know, it could have just been... But I like to think that you actually did the... and then typed that with your elbows.
It's on a short key by now.
Like shortcuts on like a touchpad, like send. I don't know. I have a very vivid imagination.
Well, let's go bombed Riz diggity.
I have a telepathic link
Rico,
to the
no?
morphogenetic fields.
Did you pay the 10 million to Jeff Bezos to get that done?
Nathan, happy Monday. How are you doing? Welcome.
Everything he said.
But that doesn't matter right now. I shouted angrily at my mother, listening to the dial tone.
So what time is it now?
Pick up, come on, pick up. How can we get a call while we're calling somebody?
I think you need to press a button. Oh. Hey, thank you, game. Thank you.
The time was 11 p.m. It certainly wasn't early. It was essentially the middle of the night. Had Rika-chan already gone to bed? The phone would be ringing constantly though, so would she get back up for me? Rika-chan didn't pick up. She didn't pick up. She didn't pick up! Maybe she just happened to miss it. Maybe her bed was just too far away from the phone.
If I was laying in bed at 11 and I had to get up, go all the way to another room to pick up a phone probably, I will let it ring. I will not go pick that up at 11 p.m.
The sound of a phone ringing gets clearer and clearer the longer you go on sleeping. Then the bathroom. Yeah, she must be taking a bath. If that was the case, then even if she heard the phone, she wouldn't be able to pick up. It was a little late to be taking a bath, but it was possible that she normally took baths right before going to bed. I'll wait 30 minutes, then try calling again.
That's not gonna make it better.
All of this overthinking, like, it's not overthinking in this situation because you know it's life or death, but that's the level of overthinking that's happening in my actual head when I'm calling. I make the step to call somebody because I'm a text person and they don't pick up. I'm like, oh my god, what has happened? Why are we not picking up? Does Tifa have her phone on silent? Was there an accident? Did something happen while she was commuting? Did her battery run out? Does she need help?
I come from a household where when we had a, what do you call them, house line, we would always be looking for it and we could never find it. So you always had to call a bit longer for us to pick up anyway. So
because you couldn't just approach the source of a sound.
Oh yeah, that was probably under a pillow or like somewhere where someone dropped it and you have to search for it.
Like
it always took a bit longer. Also, Dark Lord,
thank you very much for the 20 stream streak. It's normal to feel anxious if you think your friends are in danger. Funny story. Spoilers, not funny. The story I'm about to tell you while this screen is on might induce anxiety. You've been warned. But the scene just reminded me, and I'm a drama queen. The background music is perfect for it.
Background, oh. Like, what background music? It helps to be plugged in, you know.
Yes, thank you, Tifa. A couple of years ago, Tifa and I cycled to work. And one day, late summer, Tifa sends me a message. She's about to leave work. So I call her because something had happened at work. I needed to vent and we were talking for a moment. And then Tifa was like, yeah, she listens to me. We have a conversation. She's like, yeah, no worries. I'll just get on the bike now. Should be home in 25, 30 minutes, whatever. Okay, but... And as the okay, bye gets cut off, I hear a shuffling sound, and then I hear the sound of a phone falling, and then I hear the sound of a car. And before I can hear anything of the car happening, like approaching and driving past, the line disconnects. It takes half a second for me to process every single iteration of the sounds I just heard. And in my mind, I do the infinite possibilities of what I just heard. And my first thought was, Tifa dropped her phone. She had these earplugs in. It's Tifa. I mean, look at her. She dropped the phone as she was trying to put it into her pocket. It fell. Battery fell out. You know, back when you could open phones. Fine. But then my mind kept going, but you also heard a car. And she got cut off. Why? So I'm thinking, what do I do now? Do I get back on my bike? Do I cycle towards her? Do I call the police because I think my girlfriend just got hit by a car? What do I do? And in my mind, two intrusive thoughts started having a dialogue. The one that goes, no, Jack, nothing's happened. At worst, she dropped her phone. It's not that bad. It's Tifa. She drops things, you know?
Barely, but it happens.
Tell them you're lying. Tell them the truth. Tifa drops things all the time. It's fine. It's normal. You don't need to worry about this. And on the other, it's every horrible thought you could possibly have given the situation I just described to you. I sat down, I put on the TV, trying to not listen to that second voice. I got up, I turned on the computer, started playing a game, I turned it off again, went back to the living room, put the TV on again, checked the time, 30 seconds had passed. The moment I eventually broke down and like jolted to the door to grab my keys and get out, the doorbell rings. And I'm like, it's the police. It's the police and it's the conversation nobody wants to have. Oh my God, what do I do? I open the door and it's Tifa with a bike, smiling, like nothing's happened. I unload on her. I didn't care if the neighbors could hear because I was not in that mental state where I was making rational thoughts anymore. So I unload on her and my first thought was correct. Tifa had dropped her phone and actually smashed it. So she needed to get a new phone.
That was the first time I had like ear thingies in and I put the phone in my pocket so that I could talk through the microphone of that thing. But then while cycling, it slipped out of my pocket and fell and was dead.
Not even while cycling, while trying to put it into your pocket.
No, it was while cycling because I remember the corner. It was in the U-ting where work is before the traffic lights.
Whatever. Details.
I know exactly where I dropped that.
Tifa, you were dead for 30 minutes in my head. I planned your funeral. Anyway, I very calmly unloaded everything on Tifa, who countered with, oh yeah, I dropped my phone. What's wrong? And in a way that completely disarmed all of the negative thoughts I had. You know when you're really angry at somebody and you confront them because you are in the escalation, you want to have that fight. And they say something and that completely takes the wind out of your sails and you're like, but you're still mad? Like you still need to have a fight to get it out of your system? That was me. And when I decided, no, this is not helpful, let's see if we have a spare phone laying around somewhere. But those 30-something minutes were some of the worst in my life ever. And that's why I'm very happy that ever since then Tifa has bought better phone protectors that have actually sustained multiple of her attempts to assassinate her phones.
I once dropped my phone from the 5th floor in a, what do you call it, staircase, hall thing, and you heard it like
bong, bong, clack, bong.
5 floors, I kid you not.
Yeah.
Still whole, not a scratch. Well, I had a scratch on the screen, but like not broken, just the protector had a little scratch on it. That thing survived a fall of 5 floors, and I will advertise the shit out of that brand. And I have not, that was a couple years ago, and I have never bought a different brand again.
And she wants to appreciate that so much that she forgot the name of the brand.
That's why I didn't say it right now. But I am willing to go look it up again.
Give it 5 stars. I think Tifa after that actually went to Amazon and left a review. I think she did.
That thing got like 100 stars.
Why am I telling you this story? Because I've been there. And just recalling those memories actually made me break out in a sweat. So congratulations, I now stink. Sorry, Tifa.
Actually thought you were going for the missing call thing.
Missing call thing? What?
Yeah, when I was part of the accident, when I worked at the cinema and I couldn't reach you.
Oh, that was worse. Funnily enough, not the one I was thinking of. Yeah, I missed a call from Tifa at like 2 AM because my phone was off. That's when a car had almost hit her. A drunk driver was being a complete shitbag, sped down the street and swerved into her on a bike. Thankfully missed, hit a tree.
Hit a tree, yeah.
Tifa helped him out of a car. In the end, everything was good, but Tifa called me multiple times, but my phone was off. So the next morning...
But that was still... Okay, now that we're talking about...
Okay?
No, the tree has been removed.
No,
and the funny thing is, it's in a corner. And this dude was coming at like 200 kilometers an hour down the road. He was speeding.
In a 30 zone.
In a 30 zone. And just before he hit me, he kind of responded, swirled the wheel and went full in a tree. That tree was like halfway up the car, it felt like. And that was one of the moments I think I panicked the most in my life. The tree hit or fell into a, a ditch with some water in it. And it was 2 AM. I worked at a cinema back then, had the late shift, obviously, was cycling home. And the backlights of the car was reflecting in the ditch. And it was like red, yellow, orange.
Red, yellow, white, which, you know.
I was already panicking and I thought that car was on fucking fire. I kid you not. So
because you are running on 100% adrenaline instead of blood, and you see red, white, and yellow lights, you know? Fire.
I had all the action movies in my mind. So I like threw my bike away. I ran to the car. I opened the door and I like dragged this dude out. Like, I didn't even have the training. If he was seriously injured, I would have broken every bone in his body, basically, with how I pulled him out of the car.
You helped.
I thought that thing was gonna blow. If I think back, it was super funny, but that was one of the scariest.
Not in the moment. No.
So I pull him out of the car. And miraculously, despite the car being a total wreck, I still have the pictures of that. This dude was fine.
Somehow.
Completely wasted and out of his mind, but somehow fine. So I like pulled him away from the car. I realized the car was not on fire after all. So I asked him, is he like okay? Blah, 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 blah. He was fine and he starts like stumbling off. I had no clue what to do. I was like 17 at the time. I think he's
19.
Like walking off. And I'm like trying to call Jack a couple times. He didn't pick up. So I called my mom. She woke up, picked up. And I'm like, what do I do? She's like, well, call the police.
Yeah.
Or I'll try to call the police. I'm like, okay, I'll call the police and I'll let you know later. In the meantime, I'm like following the dude that walked off from the accident and he went into like a sideway. So I'm like trailing him and he climbed into a trash can.
Like a raccoon.
Like one of those big containers. He walked into he climbed into the trash can, closed the lid. Silence. I had no clue what to do, so I left him in the trash can.
He's in timeout.
And I kid you not, if you Google it, you will be able to find a news article about it. I left him in the trash can. And I went back to, I'm gonna call it the scene of the crime, because that was an absolute crime.
No, that was attempted vehicular manslaughter, I think is the legal term.
I trailed him for a few minutes. By the time I was back, there was already a police car and one of the people, because there were houses next to it.
Yeah, you hear that if a car hits a tree and dislodges the tree.
One of the people from the houses, I'm guessing, who called it in, were there. So they were like, oh, maybe she's seen something. So I tell him the story. I'm like, yeah, he's over there.
I placed him here for safekeeping.
In the end, they take him out of the trash. The police called me a day later after I gave them their details. It was a rented car. he went into the trash can because apparently, despite how shit-faced he was, he still remembers that he would be in a lot of trouble. So he tried to hide in the trash can.
People still know when they're fucked up, no matter how high or drunk they are. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And that was kind of it, actually.
And now imagine...
It was one of the weirdest things that has probably happened ever.
And like, I don't want to make this about me. Like, that is fucked up and horrible. Not Tifa, but the story. Sorry. I had to go for humor. But now imagine you're me and the next morning you wake up at like 8 and you check your phone and you go, missed message, missed call, missed call, missed call, missed call. And then under that a message like, just quickly type together like, there was a car accident. And that's all she fucking wrote.
I was panicking back then.
I don't blame you.
That was my first like accident.
I don't blame you.
That I witnessed.
I do not blame you. I understand why you did that. But now imagine the heart attack I had. Because now I started calling her and then she didn't pick up because she had her phone on silent and was asleep. Ever since then, every night I go to bed, I put my phone in the charger, I put it on loudspeaker. Like, I will never miss another call like that. Encountered a drunk guy falling off his motor scooter. I had to call the cops when an old lady distracted him and set him down on a bank. He tried quickly to leave when he saw the cops.
Yeah, they know they're in trouble. I
have no chill when it comes to people that get into any sort of vehicle, even on a fucking bicycle, I don't care, or on a kick scooter. If you operate any of these while you're not in any condition where you should, and there's other people around, like, you're a piece of shit. Like, if it's a life or death scenario, like a 14-year-old commanding a vehicle because their single mom suddenly has their water break or they had an accident, I get that. But
yeah, but there's no real reason to get behind.
If you go out and party, get drunk, do drugs, whatever, and then get into a car, fuck you. That's my statement. There you go.
I could only add to that.
Meanwhile...
we were playing Higurashi.
Yes. Thank you, Higurashi, for bringing up those memories and making us talk about these things. That's why you take forever to play for us. Even as I was thinking that I called her house over and over again, I kept calling. Over and over, again and again, I kept on calling her, but she didn't pick up even once. I think I kept trying for about 30 minutes, yet she wasn't picking up.
Wait, does she live alone? Doesn't she have guardians?
I thought she lives with Satoko.
She lives with Satoko's family?
Well, together with Satoko, I forgot whose family exactly. Wasn't Satoko's parents dead? Because they were also victims.
Yeah, I believe she lived with someone. I'm not
really
sure if it was Satoko's.
I really don't think Rika-chan lives alone.
No, that I don't think either. But that's what I'm thinking now, because then wouldn't someone, at least the parents or whatever, get annoyed? And go like, I don't want this car warranty, and then hangs up.
Warranty?
You know what I'm trying to say here.
If I ever not pick up when somebody is calling me over and over again, it's probably because I got diarrhea. Like, I will eventually, like, if you keep calling, I will eventually pick up because I imagine it has to be important. Otherwise, why are you doing this to yourself? But if I can't pick up, I probably didn't take my phone along to the bathroom and I'm sitting when I'm shitting my soul out. Just disclaimer, in case this ever happens to me and any of you are trying to call me to tell me something. Waren Sie? Something like that. It's the German version. Why my phone called so persistent that she had gotten scared of picking up the receiver? No, that couldn't possibly be it. There was no point in doing this any longer. The best thing to do would be to go there in person. Where was Rika-chan's house though? Shit, I've never even asked her where she lived. Her residence was written there in the contact list, but it was an address with mostly numbers, so I couldn't tell where it was just by reading it. Isn't there a map or something in here? Rika Furude. Her last name was Furude. it was a bit of an odd last name, so it might be easy to find. Thinking that I rummaged around in the drawer with a phone book, but I could only find things like takeout menus and phone numbers for public establishments.
Wait. I'm quite sure in the 80s the yellow pages were already a thing.
Yes, that has the phone number, which he has called, but nobody picks up.
Didn't that also have the address at some point?
Not in Germany. If that's been a thing in your childhood, maybe it's a Dutch thing.
Was that just phone numbers? Like, I still remember getting that big ass thing.
I think over here, only companies that put ads in there at some point. I don't think when I was a young kid, the yellow pages
only phone numbers
had any ads, but I think at some point they did. And then the ads had addresses, if that's what you paid for to be in the ad, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Only phone numbers make sense because that thing was already thick as fuck. If you added the addresses, it would be
even bigger.
Fair.
Can you imagine, like, even back then that was kind of, I don't know. I never understood the yellow pages, I guess.
I mean, you could.
But imagine having the address, the phone number, name, and address of a person. Anybody.
You couldn't Google anything yet.
Yeah, but like I don't know how that works in the rest of the world. But over here, I remember when you were to get a phone number, like if you got a mobile phone, or if you move, or you just talk to your provider, they would ask you, do you want to appear in the yellow pages? Like that was an opt-in kind of thing. At least for as long as I remember that. Yeah, it was. And my family always said no. So even if you wanted to find my family in the yellow pages, you couldn't because they weren't in them.
Don't think we ever did that.
So
or
to
even
me,
knew that was an option. But then again, maybe my parents did.
Inadvertently, to me, that always made it kind of weird. Like even back then I understood the concept of the yellow pages, but at the same time, do I want strangers to have my name and my phone number? Especially if when they also add the address, like you just said. That's a lot of information.
You couldn't really get it another way if you needed it.
Yeah, just get to know me.
Nah, that's not an option.
I'm sorry, if you don't think traveling the world until you randomly come across me and then ask me for my address, phone number, and legal full name, I don't think you should have that.
In America, we would have the yellow pages for businesses and addresses with numbers, but also the white pages for local people's numbers.
Oh, okay.
With us, the yellow pages were everything.
Yeah. Companies and private people. You could always opt out. I think for shorthand there were blue pages, which I think was for like city stuff. Oh, that makes sense.
I feel so old now that I remember this stuff.
This is one of a few things, or one of many things, where I'm thinking not everything used to be better in the past. The fact that I can just take a device and go like phone number of company blah blah blah, and I can find it. That's convenience.
That's the future.
Talking about the yellow pages. Shit. I tore one thing after another out of a drawer, but I didn't come up with any clues as to where Rika-chan's house was. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. If you don't know, then just ask. Ask someone who does know. That's it. Reina's gotta know. I looked up Reina's phone number on the contact list. Reina Ryugu. There she was.
So it's now almost midnight? Or 11:30?
Yeah.
Hello? This is Ryugu.
It was the voice of a grumpy sounding man. It must have been Reina's father. I'm calling in the middle of the night. I need to be polite. I'm sorry for calling so late at night. This is Maebara. Is there any chance Reina-san is around?
Reina's taking a bath. Oh, she's done? Reina, there's a friend of yours on the phone.
First of all, please note, her parents call her Reina with an I.
Well, that is her actual name.
In chapter 1, there was a whole thing about that she doesn't like being called Reina with an I, and she prefers being called Rena without the I.
Yeah, but you don't really pull that off with your parents.
Depends on the reason why, I guess. I mean, maybe she just didn't tell them, but I think it's like a nickname. See, I was reading deeper into it. I was thinking it had to do with her outburst at her old school, which got her transferred?
Well, it could be. I don't remember the full reasoning behind it, but
Also,
doesn't mean her parents wouldn't still call her by her given name.
I would think if I don't have kids, but if I had a child and they had something traumatic happening to them, like whatever happened at the school, because we still don't know the details, where she started smashing the windows and attacked 3 people. And after that, she asks me to call her a different name. I think I would.
How do you know she asked her parents?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just assumed that would be an everybody thing and not just her friends.
I would assume for now she didn't. And just her friends give her a talk to her with address her like that as our nickname.
Fair enough. Also, I don't know like Japanese bedtimes and stuff, but isn't Reina like 15, 16? And a bath at 11:30 seems late.
Well, maybe it's Friday.
Stop calling me Reina, or the shower's gonna rain blood. Something like that. Yeah. At least that's the energy I read into that conversation back then.
I don't remember the details anymore.
It was never. I don't think it was ever brought up together. Like,
and it wasn't even with Reina.
No, but they talked about her. She like a line like Reina is Reina. I know we pronounce it wrong, but Rena is Rena. Something like this. I really took this as like a super deep thing. Like the person we're meeting here, that's Rena. R-E-N-A. And the person that did these things back then, not said, but that's what I took from it, was Reina. But until we actually get answers for what happens in chapter 1, I don't know. Oh, right. Reina Ryugu was her real name, wasn't it? I'd gotten so used to calling her Rena that hearing her real name caught me a little off guard.
Hello? This is Reina.
I like how you give it a freshly bathed kind of energy. It's me, Keiichi. Sorry for calling so late.
Huh? Keiichi-kun? What do you need at a time like this? Like this?
Well, actually, I wanted to know where Rika-chan's house is. Reina seemed a little appalled that I'd call her for something like that at this hour.
That's pretty random.
Yeah. However, she spoke her next words seriously, as if she'd caught on to how urgent my need was.
Oh, okay. Sure. You know the assembly hall on the grounds of the Furude Shrine? There's a 2-story shack used for storage behind it. That's where she lives. 2-story shack.
Wait, what? No, time out. What?
It could be the most fanciest shack you've ever seen.
I don't believe Reina would call something a shack if it wasn't a shack. Second of all, I know I'm mincing words, but we have been to a 2-story shack used for storage behind the Furude Shrine.
Yeah, and that was a whole temple. Also, that's not where she...
Does she really live alone there? She's like 12. No, not even, like 10. I couldn't immediately visualize the place, but as long as I knew she lived on the shrine grounds, I'd just have to take a look around. Got it. Thanks. Sorry again for calling so late. Apologize to your dad for me too, would you?
Okay, but Keiichi-kun, why do you want to know where Rika-chan lives?
Reina asked in an unusually sharp way, halting me before I could hang up the phone. I hesitated for a moment about whether to tell her.
I think that isn't Rika's house. But she did say that she lives there.
Are you talking about me saying she is describing the storage thing for the ritual instruments?
Oh, like that. Yeah, I don't think the warehouse is it. Otherwise you would have known.
Also, saying she lives in a shack gives me really bad images. Like, I want to see this place for myself.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's not the ritual storeroom. Okay, fair enough.
There's no way they would let her live in an actual dump.
Yes, they would.
I don't think so.
With the Sonozaki family in charge and them being all so high up on their own thoughts about the glory of the Onigafuchi village.
Yeah, they're still important.
If there is somewhere a scroll that reads, the shrine maiden virgin must live with the ritual implements so that her virgin aura can permeate the miasma of evil, they will lock her up.
Why do you have to look for the worst in everything? You don't even know what it looks like yet.
Why do I need to look for the worst in everything? We've been to the kink dungeon. And that wasn't the good kind of kink dungeon. It was the I'm trying to crush people and cut them open and eat their organs kind of thing.
Yeah, not with that mindset.
He was killed because I told him.
Keiichi-kun? If you're still listening, could you answer me? Why are you asking where Rika-chan lives at a time like this? Beep, 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 beep.
Hang up and run. Reina affected her usual tone, but beneath her words lay a certain tension, like she'd intuitively sensed something was going on. What will you do, Keiichi? If it's Reina, can't I tell her? He was killed because he found out. I revealed everything, so he was killed.
Keiichi-kun? Reina's being serious. Please answer me.
Reina asked me once again in a tone so forceful I couldn't imagine her ever using it normally. How could you have known those instructions? I was taken aback by her vigor. Reina was Rika-chan's friend too. She had the right to be concerned about Rika-chan disappearing. If I told Reina, then, even if only for a moment, I could drive away my horrifying fears. Reina, well, I can't exactly tell you why, but...
Yes?
Reina's tone was seriousness itself. Just from that tone I could feel her saying, no matter what you say, Keiichi-kun, I'll believe you. That subtle sense of security gave me the courage to reveal the truth. I have a feeling that Rika-chan is in danger.
You mean like a premonition? Or do you have some reason to believe she's in danger?
I really didn't have time to go back and forth with Reina about this. Still, I think listening to her calm voice soothed my pointless impatience. I don't have much reason, but yet I still hesitated. I have told Rika-chan that we had snuck into the ritual storehouse. The mayor to whom Shion had confessed before that had already disappeared. So it was possible that Rika-chan also... I didn't know how to explain it to Reina. While I was tongue-tied, Reina spoke up.
Sorry for asking something so weird. I thought about it and it isn't like you. And it isn't like you need to be sure.
Reina laughed a little, seeming a bit absent-minded. I wasn't exactly in the mood to laugh, so this time I was dumbfounded. Reina continued in a cheerful yet purposeful voice.
You're worried about a friend. I don't think you need a reason to go and check on them. Even if Rika-chan was asleep and you ended up waking her up, if that was why you did it, then none of us would get mad.
That's really sweet. And also, I like that way of thinking. Reina, thank you.
Okay then, Keiichi-kun, just one thing. You called Rika-chan's house, right? Then you just couldn't get through? So that's why you asked me where her house is?
Yeah, that's right. I must have called her for over 10 minutes. She could just be sleeping and not have noticed.
Rika-chan's house is really small. She would definitely hear the phone ringing even if she was asleep. Satoko-chan is there too, so there's no way neither of them would notice.
See, they do live together, I remember that correctly. Huh? Satoko, you mean she's living with Rika-chan?
Yeah. You didn't know? Well, we can talk about that later. Anyway, if you called that much and no one answered, then something's definitely wrong.
Reina understood that the situation wasn't normal far faster than I could have ever imagined her to. It made her seem dependable. However, the fact that Reina had acknowledged this also meant that the best case possibility of it all just being the result of my own needless fears went out the window.
I'll go to Rika-chan's house right now. Will you come with me? I can show you the way.
Sounds good. Let's meet up at the same place as usual. I'll be waiting for you.
No, wait. I'll come get you at your house. You just wait here. And tell your family you're coming with me to Rika-chan's house, okay? This suddenly sounds suspicious.
Will that be okay? We might lose time if you come here.
Did you call Michan too? She's really dependable at times like these. If you haven't, then I'll give her a call.
That's a bad idea, actually. My thoughts froze for a moment. Shun had just told me to be careful around Mion during our phone conversation a little while ago. If the Sonozaki main house was somehow lurking behind the surface to the annual freak deaths, then the current heir to the family, Mion, wouldn't be uninvolved. So wouldn't that mean she wasn't uninvolved in what happened this year to Takano-san and Tomitake-san, and also the mayor's disappearance? Also, wasn't uninvolved is such a roundabout, apologetic way of saying was involved. Like double negative, like why?
Okay, bye. I'll be right over. Wait for me.
That's all Rena said before hurriedly hanging up. Now wasn't the time to be doubting Mion. I needed to make sure Rika-chan was safe. I changed and grabbed the key to my bike. I figured things would go more smoothly if we met up in the place we usually do before school. Rena wouldn't need to come all the way to my house. My parents would probably have objected if I told them I was leaving, so I creeped out without a word. The night was unusually warm and disagreeable humid. Like tonight.
Why does she want to come all the way to us first?
Because if they... Listen, if you tell me a friend of yours might not be in a safe place, I would also not want you to go alone.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't make sense for Reina to be the one to go alone.
She has a hatchet.
Oh, you have a point, actually.
Do I need to remind you of the whole pyramid head situation?
Yeah, you have a good point.
The buddy system, exactly. She said that Rika-chan and Satoko live together, right? Then it wasn't only Rika-chan, Satoko wasn't there either? Realizing what them living together really meant caused my thoughts to immediately take a turn for the worse. That can't be... Satoko she's got nothing to do with any of this. Even if there were a reason for Rika-chan to disappear, there shouldn't be one for Satoko.
Keiichi-kun?
Rena was really fast. She approached me on her bike at an amazing speed. Her breath was ragged, painting a clear picture of just how hurriedly she'd been going. Hey, Reina, let's get going.
Keiichi-kun? I thought I told you to wait at your house.
Reina's expression was all business. Was she mad? It came out of the blue and I faltered for a moment. Well, I just figured it would be faster to meet up here.
Keiichi-kun, don't you get it?
Reina shouted, clearly angry. I'd never seen Reina like this before. Do I get it? What's the problem? Reina seemed to notice she was scaring me, took a couple of deep breaths, then continued as if admonishing me, but her expression didn't soften at all.
Keiichi-kun, the whole village is in an uproar now that the elder disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Now you're telling me that Rika-chan and Satoko-chan aren't where they're supposed to be, right?
Yeah. That about sums it up.
Then you need to be more careful. Do you have any idea how dangerous it is to be standing out here alone in the middle of the night? There you have it.
Reina has a point. If you say you will be there in space A, you should be in space A, in a place where people somehow vanish. I began to understand where Reina's anger was coming from.
You told your family you'd be going to Rika-chan's house with me, didn't you? So in that worst case scenario, if you and I were to disappear, people would know when and where we did.
Reina was perfectly level-headed in this emergency situation. Ever since the night of Watanagashi, every night someone had died or disappeared. On the night itself, Takano-san and Tomitake-san met strange ends. On the next night, the elder vanished. Now, on the next night after that, Rika-chan and Satoko were nowhere to be found. I hadn't been thinking of anyone but myself, but it wasn't enough to say that Hinamizawa was a little weird at the moment. It was, in fact, extremely strange. Reina had even anticipated our own disappearances and had told me to tell my family where I was going. I was embarrassed at my own carelessness, and the need to be embarrassed made me afraid of the night. Sorry, I didn't tell them yet.
Okay, then let's go tell them together.
With Reina beside me, I wheeled back towards my house.
Did you tell your parents, Reina?
And now the house is empty. The moon seemed strangely high in the sky. A sky that was uselessly vast and cold, so that no matter what, it would never seem to me like a dream. This cruel fact had already confronted me. On such a crazy night, Reina had been unimaginably dependable. Hinamizawa's metamorphosis, enough to make Reina caution me against carelessness, was to me the most fearsome thing of all. The moon seemed strangely high in the sky. We met up with Mion on the way, and she, of course, was unsure whether to believe me about Rika-chan and Satoko's disappearance.
Kei-chan, are you serious? I'm going to get really mad if this is a joke.
Mion was clearly displeased. If this were a joke, it wasn't very funny. I understood how indiscreet my words were. Ever since the day before yesterday, someone had either died or vanished every night. Rika-chan and Satoko disappearing after all that was something you just couldn't say, even in jest.
Mi-chan, if it really is a joke, don't get mad. Smile. It would be a joke, after all. We need to go make sure whether it's a joke or not.
This is the line that Jared Leto used as the inspiration for his portrayal of the Joker.
Don't get
Bless
mad.
her heart.
Smile.
Yeah, if somebody makes a horrible joke, just smile. Yeah.
It's what we usually do when you try to make a joke.
Come on, Jack, that was a good one. Yeah, I set myself up for that, didn't I?
Yeah, just smile.
Wait.
Oh, that's an 8 out of 10.
That looks so... That's nightmare fuel.
That's pretty quickly. Yeah.
I cannot smile on command. I can like fake smile if a situation needs it, but I cannot for the life of me do like a super happy expression on command. It will always turn out into something that looks more like I have a partial facial seizure. Like,
I sometimes feel like I can, except when it's like picture time.
Give me your best fake smile for a picture.
Click.
Close. Usually that is true. When we take selfies, we just make each other laugh, and when it, like, maybe it's between my ears, but because I know it's like from a different type of place that the smile comes from, it looks better. Maybe that's just me.
You're right. Sorry for getting upset.
Yeah, if you're being upset, just stop being upset. I have an indiscreet joke. It may have been if we learned that our friends were safe, it would end up as nothing more than a funny story. Having been warned about that by Reina, Mion gave a dry smile, the tension she felt loosening a bit. She mounted her bicycle as well. Our 3 bicycles' lights flashed down the pitch-black road. They were some of the only illumination outside. I don't like the shot of that moon. That's a bad omen.
Kei-chan, why did you suddenly decide to call and ask about Rika-chan's house at a time like this?
Mion asked me the same thing when I had trouble explaining to Reina. Would it be weird to call it a premonition? I couldn't quite tell because it was dark, but I thought I could see Mion smiling very ambiguously. I definitely understood that she wasn't convinced, though, despite the darkness. Well, I had this bad dream while I was snoozing and I couldn't get it out of my head.
Can we start heading towards Rika at least instead of...
They are already on their bikes.
Oh, okay. So, did Rika-chan get kidnapped in the dream?
Well, it was more of a vague feeling, sort of thing. If Rika-chan had answered the phone, I would have called you and Reina after that. Lies smoothly babbled out of my mouth, makeshift though they were. I was lying because I thought telling them I was connected to Shion would be like silently admitting we'd stolen into the ritual storehouse together that night. Mion didn't press me any further. I don't know whether that convinced her. Or maybe she figured that making sure Rika-chan and Satoko were safe would be faster than making an issue out of it. I felt relieved and immediately a little guilty. Mion hadn't really been acting any different these last few days, but I'm still trying to distance myself from her for some reason. It was only because of what I heard from Shion and ooishi-san, that she was the successor to some kind of super extravagant... It was only because of what I heard from Shion and ooishi-san, that she was the successor to some kind of super extravagant gang family. No. Was I just trying to force myself to forget? Don't do that, Keiichi Maebara. Wasn't it Mion who was the first to ask about the night of the Watanagashi? In such a harsh tone, at that. I've already forgotten the terror I felt. At the time, Mion looked like someone different from the Mion I knew. When I think about that Mion, then Shion and ooishi-san's descriptions of Mion made a tiny bit more sense. That's it, isn't it? If it wasn't for how she acted that day, then I wouldn't be feeling this way towards her now. What on earth was going on with her back then? I was conveniently thinking only of everything she had done after that, while disregarding the very first thing, the thing I should have been looking at most, wasn't I? Mion was pedaling her bicycle in front of me, her long hair fluttering in the wind. No matter how long I looked at her back, it never gave me the answers to any of my questions. I find that asking somebody's back rarely answers questions. We went all the way to the stone steps leading up the shrine grounds. Of course, we weren't going to want to haul our bikes up there, so we parked them beside the staircase instead. So this is the Furude Shrine.
Everybody comes and goes as they please, as if it were a park. But this place is actually a grand estate owned by the Furude family.
So the entire shrine is private property. It really makes you feel like the passage of time. 10 or 20 years ago, it would have looked exactly the same. And wouldn't that mean that the Furude family is really old? With a history going back for generations?
Yeah. They're gone. That's odd.
He just randomly throws it in. You're winning. Hello, Skinner. Thank you for the resub.
We're always winning.
We're about to find out, but it looks like somebody dead. Or disappeared.
How are you doing, Skinner? Thank you for the resub.
Reina said something clearly disquieting, so I ran over to her. What's wrong, Reina?
Rika-chan and Satoko-chan always leave their bicycles here. See? They're gone.
I took a look around. Indeed, there were no other bicycles aside from the ones we had taken to get here. Couldn't they have parked them somewhere else? Could they have brought them up the stairs?
Also, it's kind of a shame we only get to see the staircase.
Well.
I'd like to have seen at least like maybe the shrine or the place they live in instead of the staircase.
My problem with this shot is that the bottommost step of the staircase looks dramatically deeper than the other three on top.
Yeah, that's like two instead of one.
Eating food while reminiscing about Horang's bicycle kick. It's
About
a wonderful kick. When we played Tekken, on Friday. Skinner found out how to pull off a certain move that looks really cool and feels insanely disrespectful. It's the game's version of being slapped across the face, basically.
Okay.
And it was wonderful. I mean, I was on the receiving end. It didn't do anything great for my morale, but I can appreciate the artistry behind it.
So, new favorite character?
Yes, I would think so, definitely.
Those girls couldn't do that, Keiichi-kun.
Just as she said that, I couldn't imagine Rika-chan and Satoko lugging their bikes all the way up here. We hadn't yet knocked on Rika-chan's door, but reality was already sparking some ideas that weren't what you'd call good. Maybe they were just parked under some trees and we hadn't noticed them. If you park your bicycles under trees in an area filled with cicadas, you might want to reconsider that, because the cicadas are gonna pee on your bike. Have you not seen the thing I posted in the memes channel a little bit ago?
No.
Apparently, cicadas store a lot of liquid.
Okay.
Like a lot. And it's not like with other insects that maybe sometimes drop a little bit of excrement. But cicadas... This is gonna sound crass, but I can't think of better words to express this. Cicadas piss really hard. It's like a water gun. Visibly like a squirt from a medium-sized water gun. At high pressure.
I'm going with Skinner here. How big are cicadas again?
Big enough to pee on you like you think it's raining. Look it up if you don't believe me. If you go to our Discord, to the memes channel, if you scroll up far enough, you can find it. I think it's in the memes channel. Or in the videos. I'd say they're palm-sized, so yeah, that's big.
Oh shit, are they that big?
Yeah.
I was more thinking like grasshopper size, and I know you have really big grasshoppers too. But I mean like the ones, like tarantula food size, so let's say like this.
No. If a cicada... I want to say pees on you, but it's not pee, it's piss. They piss on you like a drunken horse. Like, you walk down the street, you hear, and suddenly, splat.
Oh, that's
full on wetness.
Okay, maybe I need to Google them again.
Praying that they're not the size of my palms because I have huge hands. Oh no, Skinner, they are.
Apparently they are big. Wait. Cicada.
I mean, we've never seen Dark Lord's hands. For all we know, Dark Lord can actually grab 2 basketballs at the same time.
Wait, that is not a cicada.
Holy shit, that thing is ginormous.
That's not a cicada, is it? Oh no, it is.
Has a head body length around 7 centimeters, just under 3 inches. Yeah.
That's the largest.
They big.
With an 18 to 20 centimeter wingspan. So 7 to 8
inches. Up to 8 inches. They can get really, really big.
I don't know why I thought they were much smaller.
I thought so too, but...
Yeah, right, I'm gonna Google cicada peeing from tree.
Yeah, the unique urination of cicadas. Posted by, scroll up, the Georgia Tech College of Engineering. Yeah.
Cicadas pee from trees. And they pee a lot. Okay.
Yeah, CBS News posted just 2 months ago. Why cicadas power spray their pee?
Scientists who study such things have found that cicadas urinate in a jet stream because they consume an incredible volume of fluid.
Listen to me. Like, I know a lot of the things I say seem nonsensical and unserious, but I would never joke about a cicada's urine.
They pee stronger than humans, and an STD can turn them into zombies.
Yeah, I've seen that happen to real people too. Now, do me a favor,
I'm gonna leave this open because this is is gonna be a wild read, I think.
Makes you think a little bit different about all the cicadas you hear in the background of Higurashi, huh? Every time you hear the meep, meep in the background, that's a relieved cicada. just sitting there, chilling, playing you the music of its people.
Okay, so if you're in an area that has cicadas, do not walk under trees.
No. And that's not rain that hits you.
What do you think their range is? But yeah, then every time you feel like
I've
a drop.
never asked one. Tifa, it won't be a drop. It's like if somebody takes a water bottle and like squirts it at you. 69 feet. Impressive. Awesome. Nice. Jack takes cicada urine very seriously. Yeah, because with cicadas around, you're in trouble.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
Would be kind of funny if it was like acid.
What? Australia.
That would be Australia.
Not only do we have cicadas here, mate, no, we piss acid.
like, you definitely know, if there was a cicada that pees acid, it would live in Australia.
Yes, and has 2 cloacas. It goes both ways.
And it can move it in case its target runs
spinning.
in the other direction.
They only have wings on one side, so they spin really fast.
Fuck drop bears.
What job was a cicada acid pee? Yes, 100%.
You know, on a clear night, you can hear the cicadas pee. Such romantic sounds.
Is that a waterfall? Mm-hmm. Australian cicadas are basically the bugs from Starship Troopers. Yes, basically. We should watch that movie again.
I now look at these bugs in a whole different way.
Yeah, just don't get too close.
I also thought they looked like grasshoppers.
No, they look like kind of like roaches more.
Yeah, honestly. I just imagined them being grasshoppers.
Yeah, cicadas are crazy.
I thought we just went with cicada because it sounds fancier than grasshopper.
You know that like grasshoppers, locusts, were one of the biblical plagues? Like that don't make it better. They don't pee on you like that, but like...
Never look a cicada in its peel. Or if we want to change the Dutch saying, afterwards you look a cow in the ass. We go with, afterwards you look a cicada in its pee hole. That kind of works.
Skinner, why did you make her say that? Hard pass. Nah, you brought it up. Fate has ordained upon you a harsh departure from your wanted career into becoming a cicada urinary tract investigator. You will become a gynecologist, basically, for cicadas. And that's where the big money is, trust me.
I can imagine that would be a really interesting profession.
I don't want to think about it. I like how anime just needs the distinct cry of a cicada to let you know it's summer.
Yeah.
Yes. And up until... You have a perfect point, Nathan. To everybody just listening to this, summer, right? But once I achieved the information how cicadas urinate, I cannot think of anything but that. Like, it has ruined summer for me. I'm trying to keep my cool, but every time I hear the cicadas in this game, I mean, I've never been peed on by a cicada, and I hope it stays that way. But I get PTSD secondhand from all the people that probably have.
Thank you. I'm sitting straight.
Thank you for making Tifa sit like a human.
It'll probably pay more than my current job. It probably will.
Potentially.
We need to Google this stuff.
Those bugs chirping now are crickets. I like that. I like that. There's just one cicada somewhere, but it's quiet.
Crickets are safe, right?
Not really, but... I refuse to believe that not being able to find the bikes here was proof that they disappeared. Let's go! The only way to be sure is to check their house. We all nodded and dashed up the stone steps. Crickets are just grasshoppers. See, they just eat everything in their path and multiply. We passed through the red arc and came out onto the shrine grounds, which was covered in neat gravel. What's neat gravel? Fine gravel? I was like, whoa, those are really pretty. Neat.
Whoa!
This is some nice cobblestones and stuff.
This is some wrestling.
Rizzling.
No, rizzing. Sorry, I'm not cool enough.
The gravel has risen. It was so quiet here as though the Watanagashi festival had never happened. So, where's the house we live in?
It's this one. Over here. Come with me.
Rena took the lead and sprinted off. We went towards the assembly hall behind the shrine, then looped around behind it. Okay.
You see? That looks fancier than our apartment.
Okay, first of all, I would live in that. Second of all, I would call it a small 2-story house.
Yeah, I would
Not
also
a
not
shack.
call this a shack, but...
In the darkness of the night, we found a small prefab 2-story shack that looked like a warehouse.
The lights are off. Are they sleeping? Let's knock.
Rena and Mion neared the shack, which didn't really look like a place people would live. They had such a beautiful shrine, so I figured they'd live in an equally beautiful house. Why is Keiichi house-shaming people? Now to break into little girl's house, only in this game's context does it not sound wrong.
Well, they have a good reason, at least.
Performing a, what's the word? A well-being check? Yeah, I mean, I'd do the same.
Also, I'm sorry, but why is there a giant block of cheese hanging in front of the door?
I was waiting for her to say it. I was looking and I had those feelings. And
like, I wasn't gonna say it, but I cannot see anything else but the cheese hanging on there.
yeah, what is that supposed to be? Because all I see is a slice of cheese.
It's a dustpan. That is not a dustpan.
And who puts a dustpan right above their sliding door?
That's like a quarter of the door.
Yeah.
That is too big for a dustpan.
Ah, no, I didn't. No, Skinner.
And where's the duster?
That's the broom next to it.
So there's no handle to the dustpan.
It's an old one. You just hold it with.
Okay, fine. I'll just stick with cheese. I like that.
Oh, wellness or welfare check. Thank you. It was far from what I had expected.
Rika-chan! Satsuko-chan! Are you there?
Rena shouted up towards the second floor. Her voice was restrained at first, but it steadily grew louder. No answer. In fact, there wasn't any sort of activity in the house at all.
They might be sleeping. Let's wake them up.
Let's set the house on fire.
Steal their cheese.
The heat should make them wake up.
That's messed up.
Not as much as the rest of the game.
No, that's still pretty messed up.
Sorry, my Hinamizawa was showing. Mion banged on the shutter with both hands and the loud sounds echoed into our surroundings. They would have to notice this much noise. They would turn on the lights in the room, fling open windows and yell, "What time do you think it is?" That, however, wasn't happening. Maybe you should throw a pebble at their window. Throws a large rock. Where's that hatchet that Rena had in chapter 1?
It's all for the greater good, right? They don't mind.
There was absolutely no response. Mion stopped slamming her fists on the shutter and a sudden silence fell over us. The silence aroused terrible thoughts in us. I could feel the blood draining from my face.
It's locked. I wonder if we can get in somehow.
Rena showed no signs of stopping. It didn't look like she would admit that they weren't there until we went inside and saw for ourselves. That refusal to give in gave me strength.
Well, there's a ladder on the side of the house. Just use that to get on the top below the window and look inside.
We don't know if a ladder is actually there, Tifa, for the umpteenth time. The pictures are just there to give you a general impression.
For now, I'll say the ladder is there.
Why don't they just eat the cheese, which will give them the superpower to break open the door?
That's not realistic.
The second story windows wouldn't be locked. I'll give them a try.
Kei-chan, a ladder!
Mion brought over a ladder that was standing against my house. The footing was a little unstable for me to be climbing it, but Mion held the ladder firmly in place for me. I hadn't climbed too many ladders. My inexperience with them exposed, I climbed up one step at a time and tried to open each window on the second floor. That's me. I'm so bad at ladders.
Imagine not climbing many ladders. Like, what has this kid been doing? Did they not have monkey cages at school?
Your Dutch is showing. What?
Oh, it's when you have gym class at school and you have to do all of these... You call it like hindernisses. And you also have to climb ladders, climb ropes, obstacle courses. Monkey cages. It's like an obstacle course during gym class and you have to run around and climb everything.
She means yes. Yeah, but... I mean...
Like ladders are a part of that too.
Okay, the difference for me is when I was supposed to climb like monkey bars in gym, like, or in PE, they are attached to the wall. Like I know that thing ain't gonna move. And like I can pull on that, I can put my entire weight on that, it's not gonna move. Ladders at home don't work like that. You know? Especially the ladders that don't have like a second thing that like unfolds to make them stable. Like this looked like a normal ladder that you just put next to something.
I think that unfolds.
Yeah, but it has like an extra pair of legs.
Oh,
like the one
like
we
that.
have, the short one.
Yeah, this you just like... Well, we don't know, but I want to say this is the one you just like hold against.
Ours were above you and you climb it like a monkey. Don't think we ever did that. You only had them on the wall and then you had to like climb those things.
You could also move it. Sometimes you had like two big blocks and then a ladder would be placed on top of it and then you had to like run.
If only she understood frames and knew that half of her body was just out of frame. Like...
And then you had like blocks with a ladder on it and you could like hang on it.
Or, you know, like this, like the thing I'm doing with my right hand right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're better with step ladders, the ladders that fold?
Jack is better with the two-step ladder. You're the kitchen ladders. You're a kitchen ladder sort of person.
I didn't know that all the ladders that fold are automatically called step ladders. But yes, exactly, Nathan. You are 100% correct. I'm better with step ladders. And even then, I'm so afraid of heights and I don't trust ladders on an like instinctual lizard brain part of myself that I ask her to hold the thing if I actually need to get on top. Because it's
No, we're gonna correct that. Usually it's me that has to get on the ladder.
Yes, but if I have to get on, I ask you to hold it. Because I will get on there and then my knees and legs will turn into like this pudding-like substance looking like legs. And then I'll go like... And that's not good for anybody.
I repeat, Jack is the kitchen ladder.
And ladders that get
sort of
washing.
thing. Kitchen step.
Are you afraid of heights or afraid of falling? Yes. It's the falling part mostly. Step ladders are small, used for reaching higher things and are usually stabilized. Regular ladders also fall out but are taller. Well, I prefer the step ladders. Off to the second floor.
Mi-chan, I'm going to go check the main house just to be sure, okay? I'll be right back.
No, we're not doing this. I've seen horror movies. We're not splitting up.
Too late.
That's dumb. Reina darted away. What? A main house?
It's the Furude family's actual house. After her parents passed away, I think it's been left like that.
Ah, right. Rika-chan's parents, they passed away, huh? At that point I recalled something else. Wasn't the Satoko living here too?
Satoko is also an orphan. Her parents fell from a cliff because of Oyashiro-sama's curse.
I know their story, but her parents fell from a cliff.
Then her older brother, Satoshi-kun, he disappeared.
He transferred. Satoshi, I've heard that name before. I remembered. He was the one who disappeared last year because of a curse.
Come on, gang, let's split up. No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I don't know, how many Scooby snacks are you gonna give me? Yes.
Ever since then, Satoko and Rika-chan have been living in this shack. Neither of them has any family, but at least they're together. They help each other out.
Reina said main house, didn't she? Wouldn't it be easier to live there? The curtains were drawn so I couldn't get a look inside to see, but 2 young girls living together seemed like a pretty tough life.
I think she tried that at first. She said it was hard though, because it reminded her of her parents.
I had no idea. I feel really bad for them. They were normally so cheerful at school that I never realized an atom of this. Rika-chan and Satoko-chan, they have it hard, huh?
She's cursed.
Uh-huh. Suddenly, Mion said something in such a low voice that it sounded like she was really cursing someone, and I didn't let it slide. Oh no! No! No, please! No more jump scare! No, not the faces! No! We made it 10 chapters in without this. Please, not now.
Well, that to start at some point.
Maybe we should have let cute Reina take them home. I know, right?
Maybe we should have.
I wonder how many of the villagers come together and like chip in to help them like survive, I guess? Like bring them food and stuff? Scooby-Doo.
Wow.
That's the Dutch version.
Rika at least can cook.
Yeah.
But they do need to be able to buy food and all
also
of
have
that.
an income, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I turned around on the ladder to face her and asked again. Mion, what did you just say?
I said she's cursed.
What do you mean brought her head up? Did she climb the thing after us? Did she suddenly go boo? Like
Brought her head up.
Oh, okay. Or like detached it and then Mion, still holding onto the ladder, brought her head up to look me in the eyes. As soon as our eyes met, an absolute zero jolt of electricity surged through my body. Fucking hell.
I don't know why I suddenly hear grease in the...
I look there, I see the face. I try to look away, I see the OBS preview with the face.
She's electrifying.
I hate this. Actually,
But wait, who is she talking about? Satoko or Rika?
Yes. I don't know, everybody. If shit's fucked, everything is cursed.
She
People...
didn't say they're cursed, she said she's cursed. Which one of the two is cursed?
Mion's eyes clouded over and within them boiled and bubbled a stew of chaos. They whirled around and around like a raging sea and bubbles floated to the surface. I had at some point been trapped on this ladder like being cornered on a dead-end street. Oh my god, she's also holding the frickin' ladder!
Well, we can just jump on top of the thing.
Yeah, well, if that's gonna break our legs.
No, I mean jump on the thing under the window. We can get off the ladder, worst case.
And then we're stuck on there.
Yeah, and then you lower yourself, hang on the side and drop yourself.
I'm saying if Mion wants us dead...
You're not gonna be dead from that.
Tifa, she pushes the ladder, we fall down. We get stuck on the building, we've got nowhere to run. Mion, you... Why are you making that face? I intended to follow that up with "you're going too far with this joke" and give her a forced smile. However, on such uneven footing as I was, the only thing that came out of my mouth was a hoarse groan as I desperately struggled to not let nausea overwhelm me.
Satoko Hojo. She's been cursed by Oyashiro-sama.
Mion answers with a response to something I never asked, as if replying to somebody else's question.
The only people who fell from the park observation platform were her parents. Only her parents, who treated her like dirt, died that day. She was the only one to survive. Then she was sent to live with her aunt, who treated her cruelly, and the aunt was killed on the night of Watanagashi by some defiant, who beat her to death so violently her brains were everywhere and her head an entirely different shape by the end of it. Also good. Then Satoshi-kun, who always protected her. He suddenly disappeared on her birthday. Someone made him disappear even though he wasn't abusing her. The police judged him to have run away from home, but Satoshi-kun wasn't the kind of person who would do that. He was always earnest. He would never ask for anyone's help. He would always drag himself through everything with hard work alone. He worked so hard he nearly ground his bones into dust, all for his one and only little sister, and yet someone made him disappear. She was the only thing he lived for, and yet someone made him disappear. Poor, poor Satoshi-kun. He was never rewarded, that Satoshi-kun. How ungrateful that child is. She is cursed. All who get near her suffer the same fate. The curse kills them or the curse makes them disappear. She cannot have any relief. She cannot have any relief. It's probably Satoko's fault that Rika-chan disappeared too. It has to be, 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 it has to, has to.
You're the one standing above me and just stomp her like a Goomba. No joke, I would...
Loot drop 10 coins.
No, for real. Like, I said it before, I say it again. One of the things that completely gets me, like, gets under my skin instantly, is at the very least the perceived loss of reality. Like, the horror stories that most like stay with me, that fuck me up the most, are like this. When a character just completely like phases out of existence and like gets unhinged. Or worse, like that happened in chapter 1. When multiple people just like act completely out of whack and everybody goes like, what are you talking about? No, everything is normal. No. Like when reality unravels. Does that make sense?
At some point we have to do this, Jack.
Fuck you.
It's even during this a little too much. Oh, they're fun moments.
When life gaslights you. Yes, yeah, basically.
Are you saying it's weird when people do this?
Yeah, yeah. But like, you know, I don't like horror movies for all of these reasons, but like The Truman Show, yes, yeah, that's a beautiful example. The way, spoilers for The Truman Show, but whatever. The way The Truman Show works is, it is so subtle and so matter of fact kind of about how this is, because you as the viewer, you catch on rather early because like stuff of a Matrix, yeah. But like, put yourself in his shoes. Everything you know is a lie, or suddenly doesn't exist anymore. Same with a Matrix. Like somebody comes to you and goes like, here, swallow this pill. You do, and suddenly everything you know is gone. Like, it does something to me. I can watch horror movies where it's just gore porn, where we just slash everybody and there's guts and stuff. I don't like those movies, but I can watch them.
It's psychological horror.
But this gets me. When you work hard enough, you can also make your own nightmares come true. That's true. That is true. Mion was mumbling words over and over again that were no longer coherent. Her shoulders were trembling so hard that I could feel it through the ladder. I almost lost my footing, which made me realize just how far above the ground it really was. Calm down, Mion. I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't sure if she even heard me. Mion rocked back and forth, and that rocking and trembling was becoming even more violent. Help me. The ladder, it's falling. Help me. Help. Just then I heard the sound of many people running towards us. Oh, hey! Over here! I very nearly said help me outright. 4 or 5 adults led by Reina ran over there with flashlights.
Keiichi-kun, Mi-chan, sorry it took so long. I borrowed the key. Oh, nice one. Seems all the windows and doors are perfectly sealed. I was getting worried.
Yeah, that. I need answers. How does she do this on purpose? Does it just overcome her? Why? How? Like, you know what movie I never read the book. You know what movie I really enjoy? I don't know if you ever watched it. American Psycho.
I have watched that years ago. I remember.
What do you mean? That's our normal friend Mion. Okay, so I know that's not what you're saying, but what if, hear me out, every American Psycho, you call. Hello, Ranger. Happy Monday. Doing? You're not, but I'm happy to have you here. How are you doing? The movie is better than the book if you don't want to throw up. Okay. What if all of these weird things happening are actually just in Keiichi's perspective? Like he only imagines these things.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but...
Then Keiichi is the problem, isn't he?
If you stop thinking, you lose. Listen, I wouldn't be shocked if the... I wouldn't be shocked if the daughter / heir to the multiple 100 years Yakuza gang ancestry is so deep in on this shit and has seen so many things that she is just broken on a fundamental level. Not because of anything she chose, but just because of what she's seen, what they're training her to do.
High chance that would manifest in a different way, I want to say though.
Why? Especially if she can just turn it on and off?
I don't think it's a matter of turning it on and off, even though it seems like that.
Well, even if it just overcomes her like a persona that just comes to the front whenever she's dealing with all of this insane shit that a normal person would have a hard time with, then this other part of her comes to the forefront and goes, yeah, no, Jesus takes the wheel. Don't worry, I got this. I can deal with this. Kill, 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 kill. The way how did she just describe that Satoko's aunt abused her and that she was beaten into a bloody pulp until her brains were splattered everywhere and her skull was a different shape?
Yeah, because she's cursed.
No, I think because Mion was there. I think Mion actually saw that. I wouldn't even be shocked if they made Mion do it.
Nah, Mion is not acting like this because of some trauma.
Yeah.
I really doubt it. Then what's the reason for the others?
Also some kind of trauma.
So you think they all had some type of trauma and then all act the same way?
At the very least with 2 of them we know about.
Nah, I'm not buying it. I'm not.
They're training her to put Pizza the Hut out.
Now to have some Azapte.
Some people just turn all of a sudden with specific triggers and can turn normal again without them realizing. Yes, that exists. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Crazy on, crazy off.
I get that, but I'm not buying it in the game.
I fully believe that if we go with this is not just an old decrepit Keiichi sitting in a wheelchair somewhere like going through shit. Mion has borne witness to the actual Watanagashi stuff from a young age. The crazy mumbling wasn't normal. Yeah, no.
Born witness.
She has been there from an early age, and as a coping mechanism, her body just goes, no, now you're cool with it.
Nah.
Now, it doesn't matter what happens now. You are suddenly, you can deal with it.
If the Sonozaki family...
The violence, it's all cool. You just become part of it. It becomes second nature to you.
Nah. If the Sonozaki family is involved and she has indeed been with all of this, the way she's acting, I really doubt it's a coping mechanism.
Just because you've been initiated into all of this horrible stuff doesn't mean that you as a person are okay with it.
Yeah,
but you're
I
in a
get
position
that,
where
but
you
I
can get out
don't
of
think
it.
that's where they're going in this game. You're thinking too...
Nah, I'm thinking exactly
IRL
right.
and things, I think.
No,
and
I'm thinking
really
exactly
don't think
right.
that's where they're going. I disagree.
It does have a sort of panic attack energy to it, yes. The rhythm picking up, the tunnel vision, like the lack of coherence, it's all focusing in on the thing in front of you. And like with the crazy mumbling, I mean, we don't listen to the Japanese voiceover, but I would have imagined that they kept going faster and faster. You know, panic attack, tunnel vision, stuff.
I'm not fully convinced yet. For now, I'll sooner take Genocide Jealous behind that.
You can't hear it in the logs. I could,
sure.
but I won't. Good point. Spoilers, Genocide Jealous. I would love that. When I heard Mion talking like nothing had just happened, I again felt a chill run through me.
But we need to find a spot to save around here.
The person currently holding the ladder in place? It was definitely Mion. It was the real Mion Sonozaki. When the person muttering to themselves just a few seconds ago, who was that? The person who was mumbling about terrible things like curses, who was that?
You always win, Ranger.
Yes, you do. I jumped down from the ladder as if running away before Mion turned into that person who wasn't Mion a second time. The adults tried a few different keys on the keyring as they tried to open the big shutter on the first floor.
I'm gonna go with Cult Madness.
What?
Cult Madness. I don't think it's panic, trauma. She's part of some cult, which is
yes,
the
Yakuza
Sonozaki
in this case,
family. Yeah, which is her family in this case. And I think it's just complete focus going insane. Nothing
so she's
to do with...
still in control and this is just how she acts in these moments.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, she does seem to retain the memories of it. Or Keiichi doesn't pick up on when she doesn't. Or she just has a good coping mechanism with not knowing what she doesn't know.
It's not a coping mechanism.
Anime Shutter Island. Something like that.
Rika-chan's house used to be a disaster shelter for the town council. So the key to the shutter is still kept in the mayor's house.
That's a weird coincidence, isn't it?
It's Rika-chan and Satoko's private residence now, though. Well, this is on Rika-chan's property anyway. Nobody complains about it.
Mion gave me a smile as she said that. I, however, could only return her gaze with an aghast expression. Mion was acting all too normal now, but that only contrasted all the more sharply with her earlier un-Mion-like creepiness.
Bang, bam, clutter, clutter, bang!
The shutter opened for the very first the shutter opened for the first time in a very long while. But not today.
in a very long while. Assuming they went...
Yeah, that's kind of a spoiler for what's gonna happen next, I guess.
Yesterday.
It depends on your perception of time, but yeah.
We saw them at school. Also, don't they always sound the same no matter when you open it? Shutters.
No. So which one was the one with the come hither eyes?
The green-haired one.
Okay. Boy, did I misread hither.
The green-haired one.
You're forgiven. Also, Skinner, listen. Those are just my words, and like, you do you, don't get me wrong. But if you take those eyes as come hither eyes, I want to say your priorities when it comes to your choice in partners is wrong. Because that's the face of somebody who's gonna sell your kidneys without asking you for permission first. Consume my soul, baby. What we've seen so far, they don't consume your soul. They will keep you alive while they gut you like a fish. And as you are alive and in massive pain, they will eat your small intestines. Like I said, keep you alive. So. See? He appears to be a warlock, yes. Sounds hot. For the sake of your survival, I am going to king shame you. Bad, Skinner. There is no coming back from that. Like, you don't survive that.
Guess you, but you get absorbed into the other. No? Oh, okay, no. Bad, Skinner.
I'm trying to keep our friend alive.
We're not gonna go back to the cicadas.
That's... Skinner, with all we've learned in that dungeon back then, I'm not shocked if they would enjoy that. Like... Also, I want to say, if you go out of your way to gut a person, you... Like, if it's been in your traditions to gut people and eat their intestines for hundreds of years, I mean, gruesome, but hey, you would expect that there is something in the intestines. You know, there's stuff in there.
You mean food?
At some various forms of being, what's the word? Absorbed into your body, decomposed, yes.
Press the button, please. It's getting out of hand.
No, I want to...
I agree, and I say instead of pressing the button, we press the button for a little raid and go say hi to Mame.
That sounds good.
Who's playing Disco Elysium. And I have to say, I never expected this game to be so big.
You don't recall when we've been warned multiple times that this is really low?
No, I don't mean Higurashi. Sorry, I meant Disco Elysium.
Oh.
Mame's been playing it for a while as well. It's also very story heavy.
That's true.
Has kind of weird vibes, which I also really enjoy. But I always thought it was a really short game somehow.
Weird in the sense that a lot of the dialogue is non-traditional. It's not just exchange of information, it's also ideas and feelings and stuff. And concepts. Mostly concepts, I want to say. But it's done in a good way. I want to say the game got a lot of accolades when it got released and eventually got the final cut, I think they called the deluxe edition that they released in the end. Yeah, stuff like that. Shame about what happened at the developers. I think they've gone kaput over...
Really?
Yeah, I've read conflicting reports, but they all were rather unsavory. So I guess ultimately it's a good thing that these people aren't working together anymore. But
well, no part 2 coming.
Definitely not with the same people that made the first one. Not in that combination.
But you know who's not unsavory? Wow, what a great segue.
It's not gonna be you, because You are leaning into unsavory. Have you listened to some of the things you're saying? If you cannot stick around for a raid, please check out Mame whenever it's convenient. I don't think he has a schedule currently. He just streams whenever he has the chance to do that. So check him out, follow him when you get notifications. You know, then you know. Unsavory gang race.
You ready?
I'm with Psycho on this. Please press the button, it's getting out of hand.
Pressing.
Thank you everybody for hanging out with us. We didn't start for it. Please stick around for it. We'll see you on Sunday. Bye!
Bye!